Whoops. I guess my camera's gone. There it is. So, give me 1 second, guys. We're still setting up for the, SavageCast today. But, I, in my infinite wisdom, forgot to plug in a second face cam for this. So, yeah. That's my fault to that. But yeah, there we go. Now, hopefully, that should work. Alright, let's see. There we go. Alright. And now to unmute and undeafen. Hello guys, how's it going?
It's going alright. How's it going?
Alright, and you?
It's going pretty good. Yo, we have Muffin. We have the JSIC is always right hat. We have the Juray hat. The Juray hat. JSIC was always right. The Juray hat. Don has that on.
Looks like Xander's going to be using mobile.
Xander the Muffin is gonna be here, and Mega Moment's gonna be here.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna get rid of this because that's annoying. And let me quickly Alt-Tab to OBS to make sure that we're working. And, why won't you work? Brother. There we go. Hey! Alright, awesome. Stream works. Muffin. So, J-Shep, the joke is that, Don photoshopped Xander's face, removed his hair, and replaced it with a muffin. So, that's the entire joke. I really wish I could get a better camera angle.
Hello.
Hi. So, welcome to the stream. For those that are curious, I have one right here. It's the Mario Kart bundle. Yeah,
nice.
I have the Mario Kart bundle here in hand, but I'm gonna be reselling it. I tried to post it to Reddit, and of course in Redder's Infinite Wisdom, I reminded again why I fucking despise people on Reddit, and I got my post banned for some reason.
I think you'd probably have better luck on Facebook Marketplace getting a buyer.
I should just give it to my mom and go like, hey, you get $50 out of it if you sell it.
Yeah.
In fact, I probably should do that. I refuse to get a Facebook. Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler. Plan the parade. No, Peyton, shut the fuck up, please. Oh my god. Already, Peyton.
Never been much for scalping, but it's weird.
I feel like it's a free
for this
market.
console, I'm for it.
It depends on what we're scalping here.
I'm gonna scalp 10,000 Pokemon cards.
If it's a children's game, I'm gonna side-eye you.
Yeah, okay,
I mean,
that is
Mario
pretty
Kart.
sus.
What do you mean?
That is pretty sus.
Yeah.
You get the bundle with Mario Kart. Of course, I'm gonna side eye. You got the.
And they had a load of them still. Yeah, I bought 2 of them last night. One I immediately sold to an IRL friend.
$1,000 poorer now.
Yeah, I sold one of them immediately, and I'm getting a Charles Martinet signature for it. Like, that's my payment for getting it for her. And then the second one, I'm just gonna, quite frankly, like, I have no use for it. I'm not gonna buy a Switch 2 to keep it. Like, if I buy a Switch 2, it's to hack it. I'm not giving Nintendo any more money for games, quite frankly, at this point. I'm sorry. $80 for a game? Yeah, $80 for a game? Are you stupid? Like, no, I'm not doing that.
Like the Ultimate games for stock. I mean, most of the, like right now, the Switch 2 was just like a glorified Switch for me, because I still got
it's literally just a Switch Pro.
It's literally a Switch Pro. I know one guy that bought the Switch 2 bundle. Also, why is my mic peeking the fuck out, dude? Why is my mic peeking? Hold on.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
On OBS, it's peeking like really hard.
Fun times.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't see myself getting a Switch 2 because, one, I don't have much room in my house to begin with. Sure, it's small enough.
Maybe that's
but
why.
Not worth the money.
Okay.
I guess you can play 3 GameCube games on it, but like I have a Wii.
The mic on stream was actually
I have a computer that runs Dolphin very well.
So guys, the microphone was coming from the face cam. Are you gonna rip into the Switch today? If you guys give me $450 bucks.
No, I'm not giving you $400.
Exactly. No, I'm not. I'm not interested.
I
add on to
don't.
the
keeping
I
this
don't
game.
have that
Switch.
kind of
I'm not.
money.
I'm
I need to save
content
that
Add
money
with
for
on to the
actual school
GameCube thing.
textbooks. One of them
No,
is gonna
Meg.
cost
No,
like
no, 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 no.
200, like
Z-Living.
$200. The 200 doubloons. I'm like, no.
Meg,
I got to save up money to get like to buy a capture card for my 2DS.
your other mic
Oh
was
wow.
better. Wait, how the fuck was my other mic better? You can't hear me now? How can you not hear me? Dude.
It does feel a little bit different, I will admit.
Yeah, Meg,
Yeah.
look for the PDF version. Don't waste your money. Exactly. No, don't buy
Of
textbooks.
course, no. I usually try that.
I can hear you. Peyton's trolling. I'm not surprised.
That sounds about right.
Here. How do I sound now, Peyton? Do I sound really good? Do I sound really good now? Do I sound really good?
Perfect.
Perfect. All right. Hi everyone. This is your boy
Hey.
SavageCast with ASMR.
Wow. Savage
It's your,
J6.
it's your debut.
Savage J620 lowballs the fuck out of you, ASMR.
That's pretty good. That's pretty funny. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so I did get a couple in fact, fuck, hold on. I need to get it on my phone now.
Oh, yeah.
And suddenly viewers go to zero. Yeah. I'm
Wow.
ugly and I'm proud. Jacek probably. I'm not that ugly. I'm not that ugly.
And start joke about me being more ugly because I'm the bootleg version of Jason.
Yeah, Don's the bootleg version. All right, so Mario Kart World. Let's start off with the first topic here. Mario Kart World. I think it's going to be a
like
bust.
to make the first statement.
Yeah, Don, would you like to make
Mario
the first
Kart
statement?
World, Mario Kart World literally was beaten in under 3 hours.
No way.
Yes, why?
Yeah, I
Why?
saw like a
Wow.
full playthrough in like 2 hours recently.
That's insane.
That's how short it is. And keep in mind, there's no retro cuts. You only get like a few retro maps integrated within a bunch of the other shitty world maps.
I mean, look, it's
Retro cups.
Nintendo. I feel like that was gonna happen,
Nintendo.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
With how they did the deluxe cup, it was just gonna happen.
People will shell out for DLC, I think.
Oh, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Meg, and this is going to aggravate me because this is the same thing that goes on with Pokemon fans. They'll shell out $60 for a game that isn't even finished.
I know.
And then they'll shell out another $35 for the DLC that isn't even finished.
See, like,
And they break it into two parts that are both not even finished. So you end up spending $95 on a game that's not even finished. And it looks like they're doing that to Mario Kart now, where it's just like, sure, you got all these cool courses, but then you got a whole load of nothing between them. A whole load of nothing. And that whole load of nothing is the same problem that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have. I'm going to be frank with you. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom especially, Don, as you know, the deaths are basically just emptiness. Yeah, talk about a fat load of greed. Yeah, $80, it should have been a $60 game. And they should have charged $20 for DLC for like a second island. Think Solstheim from Skyrim, or like think of just an expansion island somewhere off the coast in the game. They could have done that for DLC for like $20 and people would have paid for it. But $80 for a game that's inferior to 8 Deluxe is insane to me.
The Sky Islands in TOTK was empty too, like really empty. And that was the main advertising point.
Yeah, they made an advertising point. Guys, we have verticality. The verticality in question, non-existent. Also, how's it going, Harrison? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing all right.
I don't really know how to feel, because like I like the concept of the game, but I feel like there's not enough to hold it up for me. Like, especially not for $80
World?
worth. Yeah, World. Like, thing is, I like Mario Kart, but I'm annoyed at the fact that they've only put in like so little for what should be an open world Mario Kart. There's like no retro tracks at all, so it feels less open to me.
They could have easily put more stuff in there.
Yeah,
I think like the sort
it
of
feels like a pre-alpha version of Breath of the Wild, but with Mario Kart.
It does,
like the marathon like sort of way of racing. I feel like that's interesting. Knockout mode, that might be interesting to me because I play a lot of Countdown and like custom tracks on Wii. But I mean, the items were a little odd. That's apparently like I looked up. They almost grabbed like the green shell and banana, which is kind of weird because it's Mario Kart.
What the
Like, so I
hell?
don't know. Like, cause they've been like adding the new items and stuff. You might have seen like the new items. I don't know if they're character exclusive.
No, they're
And
not.
like, I just see an article saying that they almost got rid of the green shell and banana. I don't know if that's true
I
because
don't
it's
believe
Mario
that.
Kart. You can't really play a Mario Kart without those items.
Those are kind of staples.
That'd
Like
be
you
really
wouldn't want to get rid of
stupid.
those.
Exactly. It's like they rather just erase identity.
I think the thing is I'm not really interested in the new courses either. Is the thing. I don't feel like these new courses interest me in their designs.
No, same
One
here.
good thing I will
Yeah,
say
they
about
kind
the
of feel samey.
courses is that one good thing I will say about the course is that at least Rainbow Road was done justice.
Was it done
didn't see it.
justice? I didn't
built like
see
the
it. I saw Beer Bear
I did
posted a
not see
video
the
on it.
Rainbow Road.
Like Rainbow Road, it's essentially like just a mix between like because the maps are like bigger in Mario Kart World, like you have like a mix between like Mario Kart 8 and like I would say Mario Kart Wii Rainbow Road, but like
Okay.
it's not as good, but like I would say it's at least done justice because it's at least most of the lapping. You're not just like driving to the area as 2 out of 3 of the laps. I know
Best
I might
Rainbow
sound
Road is DS for you,
comprehensible.
I disagree. Hold on.
I like DS
Before
Rainbow Road.
let everyone in Twitch chat and everyone here in the cast. What is your favorite Rainbow Road? I will start with mine. 7.
It's definitely 7. I was about to say.
I like SNES, I think.
All right.
That's a good one.
I think mine is probably Wii or DS. DS only has like the loop, really. That's like its
That's
sort of high
all
moments
it
in order thing.
has. Like,
But Wii was because I grew up with Wii a lot, so I
Oh, yeah,
love
me
that
too.
game and I love Rainbow Road. So that one's my
I didn't play
favorite.
Mario Kart till I was an adult.
damn, that's crazy.
It
7's
happens.
probably my
I
second
childhood.
favorite. Peyton says 7. Yeah, feel free if I have any questions that I ask the group here, guys, you are more than welcome to answer them in chat as well. Listening to this while going to a Coinstar. Say some hot takes while I drive. Also, Mario Kart 7 has the best Rainbow Road. Exactly.
See,
I
I played a
Will
lot
say,
of
though-
7 when I was
Will
like
say
in the
though, the
Caribbean.
GBA Rainbow Road is underrated. It's really underrated.
I'm
It
not
just
too
needed
fond
to
of
be
that one.
remastered.
See, I just don't get the hype behind Super Circuit, but maybe because I'm from like a 3D era of Mario Kart, so I didn't know what it
Yeah.
was like to be in the trenches.
Super
See, I
Circuit was
prefer
like bullshit difficult, I'd argue.
because like the jump from GBA to DS is just so huge that when I look at Super Circuit, I just go like, "Oh, this is Super Mario. This is like SNES." I don't. I mean, it's got like the cool bumper jumps, but I'm not as
Yeah.
interested in that. Yeah, I've seen like how far it can go, like in terms of like speed running it, but like that's pretty cool. That's like it's nifty the bouncing, but I don't like it as much compared to like DS or Wii. I did play a lot of 7 in the Caribbean. I was pretty much just like grinding that game to get all the stars and stuff. I only have 2 star, but I thought Rainbow Road the concept was interesting, sort of like another marathon thing. It was like the 3 different legs of it rather than 3 laps.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel it's harder for me to rate that course as a whole because it's more like, hey, do you like all of these 3 legs like a good amount? Could you vouch for each amount as much? And I'm like, I mean, space mushrooms were nifty. I like the moon part. The moon part is the best
Oh,
part.
dude, the moon
And then
the moon part was the best part.
And then
hands
the rest
down.
part, I'm just like, okay, fine, sure. What the hell? It's part of the course.
And
Also,
the music's great too.
I just realized something because it's Mario Kart World and like everything has to be integrated into the world. This might be the first Mario Kart game where there's less than 2 Rainbow Roads. There won't be a second Rainbow Road.
Well,
no.
I mean,
a lot of the games never had a second Rainbow Road. I think the only exception to that was technically 8 Deluxe and 8, and that was only because they kind of SNES Rainbow Road was just kind of like the easiest course to port over. I'm gonna be real with you. It's literally just a flat B shape. Yeah, SNES we only had 1. What did 7 have 2? Yeah, it had SNES. It had SNES.
Yes,
again, it was the easiest track to port. It is literally a flat B shape.
I mean, that's the only one they do port. They don't really port N64s. Like they
They
did
don't.
it for 8, but other than that, like not really. Like SNES is just the one they pick because it's SNES.
Yep.
I think with tour, if they're gonna integrate Rainbow Road, the only one I can really see they're gonna do is Double Dash's one, because that's the one actually like you see the city in the background, so it makes
Yeah.
I guess the most sense if you're gonna connect it from the city up into the sky into the road.
So actually, can we go off on a tangent here about that, Xander?
Mm-hmm.
So, if
I love
anybody ever
tangents.
played Double Dash, you know that all the tracks are more or less connected. Luigi's Mansion is seen from Luigi Circuit, and Luigi's Mansion, I believe, was like one of the battle courses, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it is.
Shroom City, or whatever, the course in the Star Cup or Special Cup, that's the city course. You can see the bridge from the Mushroom Cup course as well. I'm pretty sure Baby Park you can also see Luigi's Mansion in. Peach Beach you can see Daisy Cruiser in. Like, there's a lot of interconnectivity to the tracks in that game, and frankly they should have done something similar to this to this game, but instead they just kind of just spread them all a mile apart, more or less literally, and was just like, here, enjoy driving these straight roads, these straight boring roads between the courses, instead of having like little extra nuggets of tracks here and there. And, like, they could have easily done so much more.
Also, I like to go on a little bit of a tangent myself. What is like Nintendo's weird obsession where like they'll have like the road diverge and like be spread out right, but the only way you know where you're supposed to go is through invisible arrows that like don't even act as physical barriers.
I don't like that, and I don't like what they did with the DLC for 8 Deluxe where they added all that shit. I feel like they could have easily just put up girders or something, like, to make it look more authentic.
Okay.
I forgot they added the tour levels. I feel like World is sort of taking off from that, where it's not like you know where to go, but like you don't really like how the course is changing, you know? There's not really any seamless transition, just like, oh, go this way, follow the arrows.
Yeah, it doesn't feel it doesn't feel that fluid. It feels very forced and unnatural.
Like, not to mention, I really dislike the fact that like 2 out of the 3 laps is just driving to the place.
Yeah, no, that's another thing I don't like, and I think there's a setting. Now, don't quote me if this is true or not. I think there's a setting where you can change. Fuck, what is it? You can change it so that once you get to the course, it does 3 laps. But I don't know how true that is. I don't know if that's an actual thing. I would hope that's a thing, but like, if it isn't, that's what the hell.
And the thing is, what made like going around the lap 3 times so important was that it allowed you to take risks and allowed you not to take risk. Like, if you were like in 10th place on lap 2, you could take a shortcut that nobody dared to do it to get into a better place. But now you don't have that. Now you just drive and you hope that there's a mushroom shortcut along the way.
Yeah, like, again, like, I studied all the lines of the original 48 on 8 Deluxe, so, like, that stuff is etched into my skull, but when I see some of these races, like, obviously there are a couple of them that have it, like the Mario circuit, but when I saw the Donkey Kong one, it's just, like, it's literally just a zigzag like the Donkey Kong arcade. It's like, good luck finding a place to, you know, cut corners other than those U-turns every, like, you know, after every straightaway.
Exactly.
It's like, what the hell? You have to rely on item RNG and, I guess, the small amount of skill of dodging shit, but, like, that's almost negatable when you're playing against people that, you know, are pretty high up there.
Personally, I'm just sort of hoping for new courses. I'm sad. I'm a little annoyed that it has to be DLC and it's probably going to be paid. But I hope
it's going to be paid. This is post Iwata Nintendo.
Well, yeah, but
$25 bare minimum.
Look, I'm an old gamer. I'm always like at least 5 years behind everyone else. So I like to have hope. I like to have fun. Okay, so I just hope that they'll bring back, you know, all the Shroom stuff, like the Shroom City stuff, the Shroom Ridge. I love Shroom Ridge and Nintendo DS. That one's awesome. I think that's like just off the cliff, but still like sort of like a highway road thing. That's cool. I like Super Bell Subway. I think that one is really fun.
That
All the
one was
sort
pretty
of
cool.
industrial courses tend to
That
be
one's
more
actually
fun.
a really good track.
The Super Bell Subway.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Like a lot of the DLC, like no, here's how you do DLC right. 8's DLC. Egg Cup, amazing. Triforce Cup, amazing. Bell Cup, amazing. Crossing Cup, pretty good. But like that's how you do 4 new cups of a Mario Kart game. That's my opinion. And then you have the 48 new ones from 8 Deluxe. Those look paltry. They look awful. They look very basic. There's the Yoshi one, which stands out, and that's literally about it. Like, it just... No. 5 years behind
Yeah,
everyone,
like
mate, the jokes write themselves.
Yeah.
And it,
I feel the same kind of way. It's like I miss when games were just one single purchase and it was finished, you know?
Yeah, exactly, Meg. No, it angers me. It makes me so mad, and this is why like I support indies more often now, because they're actually like
Yeah.
worth supporting. Now, obviously, there's still like some offenders that go like, "Oh, here's DLC for this, DLC for that." Free updates, I'm fine with. If you're gonna patch your
Yeah.
game and make it better over time, cool beans, bro. Go at it. Just know you're not getting any more money from me. But if you're one of those companies that goes like, "Oh, we're going to charge you $30 to do this really cool feature in 2 years," it's like, no, that ruins the whole point of the game. Or you change the game dramatically in 2 years and lock something away. That's just predatory. No, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, I
I
get
just like
that.
playing old
I'm
games
not
for the
okay with
first time.
You
For
like playing
Me
free.
old
too.
games? Well,
I
we all
like it.
do. We all do for a reason, because
Yeah.
it's free. Do what you want because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
A pirate.
Because I'm on an old console. I'm not.
Like
I
I've
go to my
patched.
game. I've been to my GameStop enough times. I know they don't have all the games I want anymore. So I just look it up. What else am I gonna do?
I haven't
I got time on my hands.
Yep.
Like there's a GameStop not far from where I live, but I'd rather just go support my local tabletop game store before I ever set foot in there again.
I mean, it's GameStop. Yeah, Lockdown Protocol blew with the DLC IMO. Yeah. I mean, obviously the
Oh, that's
DLC
what
was made
happened?
for
Yes.
supporting the devs, but they also like
Yeah.
changed a couple updates that kind of made it a bit they added balance changes that I feel like were too
The
stupid.
balance changes are silly as hell. The briefcase, like, it's so funny having to do those codes for the briefcases, and then you open it up,
The
and chances
briefcases
are the
I'm
gun's
fine
not.
with. It's the fact they nerfed the knife and they nerfed the
Mm.
guns. I feel like is stupid.
Mm.
I don't remember the knife being nerfed as much, but it's been
You
a
have to
while since
stab
I
people in the
played, so
back
I didn't update it.
like 3 times now
That
instead of twice.
sucks, man.
Oh, so basically we just got to run the fish.
Yeah, you basically fish is still a one-hit kill.
I love the fish. I'll
Oh,
always
dude,
run a
fish fighting is so good in that.
Yeah, I was always so confused because like it was funny when they did the case codes first,
I
and
like
like
that.
you'd have to like you'd match some like people we would just like mash the cases, and sometimes we'd sabotage anyways just to be funny. And then you
Yeah.
open the case up, and obviously it's a fully loaded gun or nothing. So it's just like either you get the gun and you kill someone immediately, or you get nothing and then you have to go and do a job or pretend to do a job if you were a dissident.
They
It
nerf
was-
fish too. Oh, come on, man. They just hate fun at this point.
No, but the fish are awesome.
Yes.
Look, if you get hit by a fish, it's on you. All right, like it's just
Dude,
you just gotta hold it.
hitting people with fish is hilarious.
And then they
Fish
You know what that
sounds like
means?
something out of Fortnite.
They bounce the cases a little more, so now you can pick up the gun, but it might always be fully loaded. Maybe it's like half loaded, or maybe there's just nothing in there, so you just have an empty gun to show off. But you know they still got C4s. Do C4s just still one hit KO?
Oh,
Can you
dude,
still
C4 is
blow up people
amazing.
with C4s?
Yeah,
I
C4
love
is
finding the
amazing.
detonator and then just blowing people up. It doesn't matter where the detonator is. It could be right next to me. I'm just turning it off immediately.
I love C4.
Yes, Don, we know you love plastic explosives.
It's so odd.
It tastes like
Playing
bubblegum.
lockdown, like when no one has a knife, when dissidents can't find enough, and they're just like they have to use like batteries or the 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 fuses, like that sort of thing. Like even like the pressure canisters or the vent filters, those are odd weapons. I feel like I have no idea how much they actually do until I get hit by one. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. I wanted to say at least Final Fantasy still has no DLCs, and I checked FF16 and fuck my life, it has expansion pass. Yeah. Everything you love will be ruined,
Right.
Daniel. Everything you love will be ruined.
I'm here to kill microtransactions.
Total microtransaction death. I know that's your favorite. I know that's your favorite skit, Xander. So I had to say it.
It's a funny one, okay?
I know you're ruckus pilled. I get it.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Look. What was I thinking about that with you? Oh,
Don, I'm gonna pull that hat
don't...
off of my ceiling.
What?
The hat. The JASIC was right about everything hat.
Incredible.
You can buy one too at my fourth wall. That's literally what the store is called.
Third world sweatshop hat. Amazing.
Yeah. For real, Xander.
I guess I was thinking more about the Switch too, because I watched the direct over, and I'm a bit annoyed that like they have their first party games technically, but like it's more of they're advertising the DLC packs for the games rather than actual new games.
Which I think is fucking stupid. I should not have to pay $20 to play a better version of the game I already have. But this is the Nintendo. This is modern Nintendo.
Anyway.
It's just more. Because like
$8 is way too much.
Kirby, because like I saw the Kirby game, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That's a great game. Then they have the DLC pack, but as far as I know, that's just more. It doesn't make the game better. The game is good enough. It is a great Kirby game, and I'm so glad that it exists. But it's just more. So really, I should be able to play that on my original Switch.
Exactly.
Because it's an original Switch. So they're just gonna hold it for me, and I gotta save $500 or something to buy a Switch.
I'm not doing that. No,
yeah,
thank you.
I have like a day one pitch. I could soft mod the hell out of that. I'm not gonna, because it's like on the verge of breaking entirely. Like I had to fix the fan because that fan's been dead for like 2 years. It was overheating and everything.
Dude, I thought my Switch was overheating when I was about to hack it, but I took the back plate off and it wouldn't come off because the battery expanded so badly that the back plate was just absolutely fucked. So I had to rip that thing off. I had to like remove the plastic that was still attached to it, and that thing was a balloon yay thick.
Oh my god, yeah, and, I saw that. I was like,
that was a spicy pillow and a half. I was scared shitless. I ended up shooting it with a BB a bunch of times, and it didn't explode. It just deflated.
Well, I mean, like,
that was a risk. All right, you shouldn't do that with your battery.
It was outside.
Just take it. I know, but
I mean, I've never had to deal with a spicy battery. My Switch has been. I've always played my Switch in handheld, so it's been like over like a fan or something, like a ceiling fan. So it's been relatively cool. But now
my Switch is pretty cool too.
I replaced it, so now it should actually work. It still looks like garbage on the outside, but internally it's doing okay.
I should probably actually switch out the fan anyway, just as a maintenance.
You don't need to switch out the fan. Those things have a shelf life of 20 years, provided the bearing doesn't die.
Good.
The bearing will die first before the rest of the fan. And basically those bearings are made to last like 20 years. A lot of fan bearings on computer fans and electronics fans will last 20 years if you treat them well. One thing I will say though is what I did when I modded my Switch. Right before I hacked it, I disassembled it, replaced the battery because it was a fucking bomb, and I repasted the chipset.
Oh yeah.
And I did notice that did help with temperatures quite a bit. Because the stuff they use is like basically this old cement kind of shit that is, again, it was applied 8 years ago. Thermal paste, believe it or not, does age, and it doesn't age nicely. So you do have to replace it every 10 years or so, and it was getting towards 8 years. So, I mean, I felt like it was a good idea.
Yeah. The paste on my fan was just dry.
No, it's dry. It's basically just a dry cement. You want to replace it if you ever disassemble your Switch, you want to replace it. And I just put some NTH1 on it, and I've overclocked that thing in handheld mode, and it basically runs stuff at docked performance in handheld mode, and I haven't had any issues with them. So
I feel you should be fine to use it online or whatever if you like know the right way to go around it.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, I understand you not wanting to risk it. You're like, I might have banned myself. Like, I don't think you have, but I mean, hey, if you want to play it safe, that's fine by you. Just play your game solo. It's all the content you need.
It is all the content you need. Yes, Don?
I'm guessing like on the Switch 2 hardware like is a bust, especially the Joy-Cons.
Oh, if we're not talking chipset and we're talking about like the reliability of Joy-Cons, what I've heard is they do not use Hall effect, which is like yippee. Let's actually go into that. So, Nintendo's new terms of service across the world has basically banned forced arbitration. What that means, for those that don't know, means you cannot enter a class action lawsuit to sue them if something doesn't work. So if your Joy-Cons die within 100 hours of use, congratulations, you can no longer sue them for making shitty hardware.
Wow.
I can't sue them for
why is this not illegal yet? Oh, I know why. Because no president in our country has ever put in an FTC chair that actually does his job.
I know.
No president has ever done that.
Of course not. Why would they? They all want money.
Exactly, man.
They just put some random rich person no one's ever heard of at the head who doesn't know what he's doing.
Louis Rossmann for FTC chair. That's who we need.
What?
Look up Louis Rossmann. He's great. I love Louis Rossmann. I love that dude. He's such a great yapper. I absolutely love watching him.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if you're connected it to power supply and cranked voltage to max. No.
He's the guy who basically convinced me to never buy HP again once my computer dies.
Who, Louis Rossmann? Dude, I love that guy. Yeah. I absolutely love him.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
That dude is based. Dude, exactly, though. I absolutely love watching his videos. He's super smart, and, like, he has a whole bunch of wikis set up to go, like, hey, this is how you can do this to get rid of Google Drive in your life. This is how you can de-Google your Android phone. This is how you can do this, that, and another. And, like, he's more than willing to just go, like, hey, fuck these companies. I'm teaching you how to fuck over these companies, and you're gonna have fun doing it. And I love that guy for that, because like there needs to be more people like that. Damn it, I'm one of those people. Agree. I'm one of those people that's like, you should do it this way. You should hack your Switch. You should pirate Nintendo games. You should pirate movies. You should never give Crunchyroll a fucking dime because they are shitty woke pieces of shit that hate anime.
I agree. Thank you.
You should be listening to people like me. You should be listening to people like Lewis.
It is not worth the money.
I mean, I just don't really care about anime that much. I mean, cool.
Nor do I.
Cool.
Nor do I.
It depends.
Oh yeah, like the thing
I'm
is,
mostly reading manga
like
these days.
Focus on the outliers and then just cry work, and for me that's just bullshit. Like, I'll be honest, most animes that people actually watch, that people care about, it's not gonna happen. All right,
they're boring as hell. Yeah.
Searching for niches, you're just rage baiting. Like, bro,
exactly.
Calm down.
It's like.
That's not a way to make a living. You got to go around. No. You got to get a life, man.
Like you are, like if you want to actually watch the shows, like try and broaden your freaking horizons.
Yeah,
that's why I play different games, because I can't. The thing is, I feel like I got the big disconnect when I realized I wasn't into shooter games. I was not into Overwatch and Fortnite. I played Fortnite. I didn't like it, but I played it. No,
I was never into multiplayer shooters either. They just kind of bore me or feel a little too sweaty. That being said, CS2 and Halo were like fun to play with friends just casually, but I never wanted to play them like competitively or to win. I just wanted to play them to dick around.
I want to sharpshoot people out of the air if I play a shooter.
I got an original Xbox. I play Halo 2 because everybody else had that. We were waiting for like Insignia and shit. I got X-Link. I got the Ethernet cables. The most fun I've had with that is when everyone was spamming energy swords. I did not like it when we were using battle rifles and sniping, because I'm so bad at that. I cannot aim for shit. I can't do any of that quick scoping nonsense.
You can, guys, you can attach the Joy-Cons upside down and it works.
That's Why would you do that? Somebody's got to make a game to make that a functionality. I think that would be funny.
That's crazy.
Like, imagine it's a puzzle game and it's like you got to figure out what to do.
That's crazy.
And then everyone on like Google is trying to ask like, how the fuck do you solve this puzzle?
Well, actually, Meg, that reminds me. That reminds me of something. On the PS1, in Kojima's Infinite Wisdom, one of the Metal Gear games, you got hacked in the game, and you had to unplug your controller and plug it into port 2 to then unhack yourself. That is a real thing, by the way. I forget what game it is. I know it's a Kojima game on the PS1, but you had to unplug your controller in port 1, plug it into port 2 to Metal Gear Solid Battle against Psycho Mantis. Thank you. But yeah, like you had against an enemy, you had to change your controller port to fight off against an enemy.
That's hilarious.
That's pretty fucking sick.
How that puzzle would go against emulation.
Yeah.
Turn my controller into another USB port.
Stuff like that is so funny.
I know it breaks the mold. It breaks the meta. It breaks the fourth wall. I really like that.
Yeah, or like Pokemon could have an evolution method where instead of flipping your entire console upside down, flip the Joy-Cons upside down and then put them in the...
Wait, turning it upside down? What was this?
That's fucking Inkay.
Yeah, that's how you Inkay. You turn your console upside down once Inkay hits level 30, and it'll evolve into Malamar.
Like
what?
I don't know how they thought of this shit.
I feel that one was silly. I feel like I understand
that one is very silly
by the gyro, but then every other one after that generation is like weird and stupid and very move specific or something. Like, oh, you need to be under this rock and use this move 15 times while also being burned or something. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
You need to take a certain amount of damage and then reach a certain level and not faint. Or
that shit with your mask was dumb. Like, why is that? Why is that? Why do I need to do that for the variant of it? Like,
they tried to pull the same shit for Basque Legion, but this time it's recoil damage, which is worse.
I don't mind move evos as much. I feel like it's better than trade evos.
I'd rather take move evos.
Like a trade evos sucked. Honestly, if you live in the US, they just suck. Especially.
And in later game, there's an Easter egg when you fight the identical boss, Psycho Mantis, but on PS3. If you change to controller 2, you couldn't move, and the character from the game would tell you that trick won't work and that you're dumb for trying it. That's amazing.
I gotta hop on Metal Gear Solid, honestly.
Dude, I need to as well. Should somebody throw that in suggestions if you guys want to see me play that?
Loves it, so it's like
your who loves it?
My favorite VTuber loves it, so...
Your favorite VTubby loves Metal Gear. When you can't even say my name!
Well,
put it on my Steam watch list.
I think Pokemon's been mega weird with DLC, because like the thing was, when it came to Game Freak, they love making shitty first games, like the dev tests, and then they'll wait a couple of years, and then you have the actual game. That's the one that you should buy, but everyone's already bought those first two games where they gatekeep all the cool shit, like the legendaries and everything, and all the stupid events. But like, I feel they made it better, like with Gen 4. Gen 4, like Platinum is a better game than Diamond and Pearl, and I have played Diamond. That shit was slow as molasses. Like if you try to
Pearl,
it's gonna take you like a solid minute to save anything after the second gym. In Platinum, you won't miss like more than 10 seconds trying to save a file. And like you still get everything. You still get everything pretty good. I think it's annoying that they had to gatekeep the Reggies behind an online event that you need a Wi-Fi event for. That's stupid. I agree. Like roaming is dumb, but I understand it. They gatekept Arceus. I didn't even realize that Arceus wasn't even legally obtainable back then. Which is
it wasn't.
And then like the same thing happens with like Gen 6. I feel Gen 6 was better on it because I love Alpha Sapphire. Alpha Sapphire was the first Pokemon game I actually played. And it was great. Even if you didn't...
I loved Omega Ruby.
If you forced me to play a Nuzlocke of a game, which one?
Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire.
I'd say Alpha Sapphire.
I would go for the Switch version of Diamond and Pearl.
If you want a challenge, I'd say you play Pokemon.
Here's like I think Gen 6 is when they were like, okay, let's actually help our people, the people who play this game. Because even if like you can get a lot more legendaries, like once you get like Latios and Latias, you can just fly around and you get like all those hoopa holes with all the legendaries in them. And I think that's great.
And the music bangs while you do it.
Yeah, because like I mean, like back then, like if you were a kid, you just had to ask your parents to go to Toys R Us or something, and you need like the promo tickets which is dumb. It's stupid. Whenever they have those peripheral things that you have to do, like, because I'm not a hardcore fan of Pokemon, I find that extremely stupid when you want to catch cool Pokemon.
It was so that they could sell more merch, Xander. Because this is Pokemon we're talking about. It's one of the most grossing franchises in the world, and if little Timmy wants to go to Toys R Us to get the stupid pixel sprite on his DS, you're gonna take little Timmy to go get the stupid pixel sprite on his DS.
Yeah, and then, like, the thing is, like, they went back. They reverted back, like, heavy on, like, Gen A and stuff. Because, like, once they moved from 3DS to Switch, now suddenly it's like it's a whole fucking debacle to transfer everything from 3DS to Switch. And there's still the stuff with Pokemon Go that they're doing, and so it's just, and like now there aren't even some Pokemon you can actually get in the newer regions. Like they just don't allow you to. It's just not in the game for some reason.
I think
That's
that was.
stupid.
I think it ended up being.
So you actually can't catch them all
50.
technically.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
you're
a
just like,
couple.
oh,
There's a
well,
couple of stragglers that haven't had their day yet, but they might come back in Legends ZA. But I'm not entirely sure if they
I'm
will
not
or
buying
not.
that game.
Speaking of ZA,
Oh yeah,
kinda wanna play that game.
let's talk about that game and how it looks really, really bad.
It does look like shit.
it just looks
I'm not
so
sure
barren.
I'm not sure if I actually just want to teach my mom how to use Steam for this, and ask for a game off of that for my Christmas present.
Just get Power World on your computer or something. God, like
No.
holy shit.
I don't even know if I like Power that much. I've heard of it. I just don't care about it.
I could care less.
It's a thing. It's a whole thing. Whatever. They win their. Did they like win the lawsuit or something? I don't know.
No, the
No, I
lawsuit's
don't
still
think they
going
did.
on.
It's still ongoing.
So going
Well,
on.
whatever. I don't really care. I just know I have all the good Pokemon games I need. I got Coliseum. I got my Gen 4 games. I'm good. I'll just play those.
I got my Gen 6 games.
You're
I'm
basically
happy.
T-Lording
I
it.
like the simplicity
like
of this
my-
guy. The simplicity of
like-
this guy is rather based.
Yeah. I would like to have a Gen 5 game that isn't scalped to high heaven.
Like the thing is, I'll always with my family, I'll get a game console eventually, like if it's cheap. Even with the Switch, technically I got it cheap because I got it from a Carnival game, and it's been trusty for like the past decade, almost like a full decade. I had to fix the fan though because it was overheating in handheld mode, so I had to replace that fan. I got the replaced recently, but now I can actually play it for more than like 2 hours without like taking some water and rubbing it on that weird metal thing under the flap.
Have you hacked it yet?
I'm not gonna do that. I'll be honest. I don't trust myself with it. I've hacked my Wii. I've hacked my 3DS, but I will not do the Switch.
It's pretty
I'm better with
easy.
stock.
It's pretty
I won't
easy.
hack my Switch until
I
all
know
support
it's
goes
easy,
away.
and I have like the easiest one to do it since it's like an HAC 1. Like it's like first copy.
Well,
of
yeah,
Switch.
it's the same thing I have.
Yeah. So, but
I have
I
a
just
Switch
I
Lite, so
don't
mine might be
feel like
different.
I don't feel comfortable with myself doing it for my Switch only. Like I could do it for like a Wii U or like a Wii, or I might even do it for my 360. I'll like get the USB and soft mod it, but I will not do it for my Switch.
Is it just because like you don't have like you feel you're gonna short it out or anything or what?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna fuck it up. Like even when it's already pretty fucked up now. So like, because the thing is, the back plate, it's like there's like a crack in the middle of where the Switch is, like where the Switch logo is. So I'm not trying to mess around with it more than I already have.
The back plate's like $10, dude.
Because the screws were messed up to hell. Because I've pretty much never unscrewed my consoles if I don't need to, and so those things they've worn out. It was a hassle trying to get some of those screws out, and I was gonna replace the Switch slide-in sides, those slots with my buddy, but one of those screws it's stuck in there. It's just worn out, so I just kept that screw in there.
Those screws are cheap Chinese crap. I'm gonna be real with you. When I disassembled mine, they were dog shit. I lost at least one of them, and I stripped at least 5. But that's why I replaced them.
It doesn't matter as much because I just use my Pro controller now. I've used it for all my games because I just play like Splatoon, Mario Kart. I play like Kirby Fighters. I'm good. I got all I need with my Pro controller. I was odd with the game chat, that button on the new Switch 2 Pro controllers. That's like you don't really need it. I mean, we got Discord. We got people got Skype.
Yeah, let's talk about game chat. Also, Skype's dead. Rest in peace. Not really.
Rest in peace, Skype. Okay, I only used Skype like once
chat.
when I was a kid.
But no, I have a hatred for game chat because A, it's paid walled. C, sure, cool, it's a dedicated button that you're gonna accidentally press.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
and third
just
off,
use Discord like everybody else.
Yeah, just use Discord or like what we're doing, or literally TeamSpeak or Revolt. There's so many better platforms than just using what's in game or like on system. And not only that, like you can get yourself reported falsely super easily on there, and that's a huge no.
I mean, it says it's just for friends and family, so I feel there's sort of just consent between parties because you're just sticking with your friends usually. I feel like that's one thing Nintendo's always been heavy on, like just staying with friends, always very private things. Like even back in the DS days when they first started doing it, it was like, oh, you have to like use your friend code. It's like, fuck, man. And I gotta go to the online forums if I want to find someone with a friend code. And I have to make sure that they're online when I do it. And hopefully I don't miss their message if it's like 3 hours later and I'm not in bed.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. So like they've always been really heavy on just confidentiality. So I feel like even with game chat, you're gonna be pretty safe, but that's boring.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair.
I don't even know how like the camera thing is weird for me too. Like I'm not gonna buy a camera. You don't need a camera, even for the game. They were showing it off with the games.
Yeah, no.
These games could probably be played without a camera.
Yeah, most of them at least.
Also, just in general, anything having like a paywall like built-in feature, like the BMW car, for example, where you have to pay a subscription for air conditioning, that should be illegal as a whole.
That should be illegal.
I agree.
I always hated the free period because just make the whole thing free. Like it was the same because I remember when Switch Online when that was free. It was. I'll be honest. I was actually pretty okay with the experience. I didn't feel like there were many times where I was having errors, even though I heard like it was dog shit. But it was free, and now you gotta pay like $20 a year for abysmal dog shit, which is annoying.
I'd rather pay nothing for a crappy service than pay $20 for a crappy service that could improve when it actually never does.
Exactly.
I mean, like it was the same. It's just, like that was the issue I had sort of with Xbox because like I love playing Xbox games, but I hate having to pay to play Xbox games online. That's always been annoying. Like you can let me connect to like the store, so let me play online. Like that involves a wireless connection. Just let me. I have the game. I bought the game with money. Why do I have to play the game online with money?
That's what I want to know. Like,
wasn't the whole point of like Nintendo Switch Online was just a way to like make up for the Wii U losses, and yet they're still recycling it for another generation?
I thought the Switch just
the only reason they're they're charging for online is because all the other consoles are doing it too. That is the only reason why. Yeah. And now they raised the prices for games, and now Microsoft and Sony are raising the prices for games. Thanks a lot, guys. You're making the industry worse.
Yeah, the thing, like, at least with Nintendo, like, it's the cheapest, but that's the only thing it has up against the other ones when it comes to, like, wanting to play with other people.
I mean, it's no longer the cheapest. It costs $450. The Series S is $400. Well, actually, no, it's now like $460. But the discless version of the PS5 is $400.
Like even if you like, because I feel Nintendo's always been more accessible for like and more consumer friendly. Even though I think things are becoming more expensive nowadays, and it's always a hassle to pay for anything. Like to pay for social connection is boring. Why do I have to monetize, interaction with other people? That's annoying. I feel like the pandemic sort of sped that up more.
Oh, for
like
sure.
If we didn't have the pandemic, maybe it wouldn't have happened as quickly. It probably would have happened eventually. But it's annoying how quickly they latched onto that. And now there's no way to go back on that because they see people will still do it begrudgingly, but they'll still do it.
People also need to get their head out of their ass and start, not paying for shit or like not buying stuff that actively basically says fuck you to them. Unfortunately, a lot of our society is very materialistic in that sense and just blindly accepts what is garbage. And again, I'm going to go back to Pokemon fans today. That is, the writing is very much on the wall, and just Nintendo fans in general, the writing is very much on the wall. $80 for games, you bitch about it, yet you still buy it.
Yeah.
The only reason I bought these
Versus,
Switch 2s is because I know I'm going to make money off of them, and I did already. And I literally proved my point that these people will blindly buy anything by proving to you I bought 2 Switches and one of them already sold. So, again, you are only helping me prove my point that you guys are the problem. I'm not the one projecting. You guys are quite literally the problem of, $450 console. I'm outpriced. Still gonna buy it because I'm stupid. Oh, $80 games. I'm outpriced. Still gonna buy it because I'm legally retarded. It's like, come on, people. Stop fucking paying for this shit. You're the problem. Stop it.
I know.
God.
That's why I'm looking for That's why I'm looking for like other things to do and play.
Exactly.
I've
started actually going out and being social.
I feel the moment
there's
a workaround for paying money to play against people online like the Switch, that's the time where I might consider modding it. I haven't actually seen that yet. Like, there's been ways for like the 360, like there are like workaround servers to sort of bypass sort of those authenticity things. That's the reason I would soft mod it. I haven't done so yet. I've looked up how to do it since they've sort of figured it out. Technically, even if you got to run the exploit multiple times, like over and over again, every time you
That sounds like
want to
a pain in
like
the ass.
do it. Look, it's a hassle, but that's just how it is. Because Xbox is the least hackable. I'd say like probably the least updated in terms of hacking. Like if you want to do, you can soft mod an Xbox technically, sure. Like it's easy to soft mod an Xbox. It is very hard to soft mod an Xbox 360. But if you were to do that on like a PlayStation 2, a PlayStation 3, Nintendo's consoles, it's much easier on them nowadays because a lot more research has been done. It's just it's
a lot more people care about hacking those consoles than a 360, which is a shame because the 360 is still like pretty powerful and useful.
Yeah.
And like so there's just a lot of exclusive
2DS,
games on that. I guess what else? All right, I guess for me I just buy the games when they're on sale. That's really the only time I can afford to buy them. Like if I really want a game, I'll just wait for it to go on sale, hopefully like 50, cuz a lot of the sales for the games I want, those games are like 2 or 3 years old. That's when they usually go on sale for like half off or something like that.
Usually, if they're not Nintendo.
Unless it's Nintendo.
Yeah,
unless it's Nintendo, then they never drop the price because it's fucking Nintendo, man.
I mean, the only thing I care
Breath
about
of the Wild is still a $60 game, and it doesn't come with the DLC included on the NS2 version. So again, why do I have to pay $90 for a Nintendo Switch 2 version of Breath of the Wild when, oh look, I can emulate it for free on my PC and mod it in 4K 120 Hz with HD textures well before Nintendo's ever done that. So do tell me, why do I have to pay $90 freaking dollars for that?
I feel like it's like the only game there where like it's actually increased in price somehow.
It's insane.
The thing is, I really hope, for my own sake, that the new Kirby Air Ride is not going to be like more than $50. Because to be honest, Kirby has always been a $40 franchise to me. It has just enough where I can say
It's been a B tier franchise.
Like
I love Kirby.
All right. Like I feel like it has good enough games where I say, okay, that was worth my money. If I spend like $40, I would say, oh, it's worth about 3/4 of my money because it's got a lot of content after you beat the game. Like you got the arena and stuff, you got the extra games, which is like playing the game again, but now you got Meta Knight or DDD and stuff like that. It was like that for the 3DS games, for the GBA games.
3DS games are fun.
Like, I love those games.
I still need to beat Triple Deluxe. Robobot was
Air Ride,
amazing.
I was really interested in. I heard like the little landing sound effects, so I know there's probably going to be the landing, flying stuff. I saw the Wing Star, I saw the Wagon Star, I saw the Wheelie, I saw Fantasy Metals. I was interested. I hope there'll be a lot more. I feel like if they bring back all the old courses from Air Ride, that'll be very good. And they have some new ones too. You know, probably some new stuff to go with the newer games that have gone the wayside. I hope they have new machines, but I also hope to see like some of the old machines like Formula, Turbo, Swerve, Jetstar. I like all those machines too. City Trial, obviously everyone's gonna be glazing City Trial. I understand, but like it really won't be good if you can't play it for more than 7 minutes.
Also, if I were to interject here, the whole $80 game is kind of bullshit because you have games like Claire Obscure 33, $50, or the entirety of Steam, which is like anywhere between 50 and under.
Yeah,
Is
well,
Expedition
dude, like
free,
a
$50?
there are a bunch, like I'm talking thousands of gems of games that are below $20 on Steam,
Exactly.
and that's just below 20. If we want to go below $50, oh my God, there's like probably a million different games that are like actually worth playing below $50. There is just so much shit on Steam. I don't get why people are so stuck on consoles and have that giant fucking 10-foot rod up their ass going like, oh, console's better because brand loyalty. No, you're just stupid.
PC is way better.
Mm-hmm.
With PC, you can play whatever the fuck you want. You can emulate shit for free, and you can, mod stuff to make it work the way it's not supposed to because you want it to.
I just play the games on the console that can run it.
You want Eve to be Eve from Stellar Blade to be nude? Oh, you can do that on PC. You can't do that on PS5.
Yeah.
We all like hot women, right, Meg?
Hey. I don't know how I feel about Stellar Blade anyway. It looks like shit. It plays like shit. If I wanted to play a hack and slash, I'm gonna go play Bayonetta. Goodbye.
Fair. I just play
Bayonetta ass shot better than that.
Honestly,
if a game is like, for me, if a game is like more than 5 gigs, I don't like it. I feel like it's probably ass or something. Because it's just because I have a low class laptop. I just have a laptop that runs enough.
That was my crockpot.
It can run emulators fine enough.
It's okay, Meg.
I can play Super Mario 64 on it. Like I can play Co-op EX pretty well. It runs those simple games well enough.
Hey, if you like your simple shit, that's fine. More power to you.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, for me, I feel like those are the games that probably have the most fun for me because I can just they got their communities, they got their niches. I'm good with that. I got like enough, I got enough to, and even if I like some of like the new games, but I feel if my computer can't run it, it's probably not gonna be good enough for me. I probably wouldn't play it for long anyways.
Yeah.
I did think more about the Kirby Air Riders. I hope they get like new abilities and stuff because I'll be honest. A lot of the abilities were interesting in the original Air Ride, but a lot of the mechanics were odd because it's a 1-button game. Like you can move and you got the A button, and it was odd how they implemented it for stuff like bomb and plasma or like fire and freeze. I mean, now since there isn't really freeze anymore, they have ice and they have plasma still, but like there are so many other abilities in game. It makes me wonder how they're gonna, implement that really if they choose to have more abilities. I think they should have more. I think they should have cool like little costumes and stuff. I feel the checklist is gonna be revamped like hugely because you got like 120 squares in the original, and that's like over all 3 modes: Air Ride, City Trial, Top Ride. Top Ride's great. Like that's fucking Baby Park Kirby Air Ride. I love that. I love the items in it. It's great. Nobody talks about it, but Top Ride is amazing. Like you don't talk about much because it's not in like the land mode or whatever, but it's still a great mode. Like I mean, sure it's like novelty, but it's still I think it's fun.
Oh, hell no, not ice. That game sucks.
Okay, Cerno hater.
Wow.
Imagine
hitting Cerno.
Unrelated, but like I was wanting to tell Meg this just to see her reaction. I don't know if it's confirmed, but like based on like what is being seen, like Mario Kart World like uses AI generated images for like the background art.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that accusation. Honestly, I could believe it.
Multi-billion-dollar company, by the way. Isn't it actually multi-trillion?
And they actually said, and I quote, that they wouldn't be using it. So clearly they've lied. But, I mean, it's this Nintendo we're talking about. They love lying about that shit anyway.
The micro SD, that was really surprising to me. Like, the Express. I've never heard of that.
So, do you want me to explain what that is in at high level terms?
Please do.
So, micro SD Express. So, everybody knows what an SSD is, right? Yeah. Like, you usually plug it in either via USB or via the SATA interface. Mm-hmm. So, that's what. So that's an interface. Micro SD Express. The Express in that means that it is using PCIe Express, which is a connection used in high-end electronics like computers. Most computers, PCs, usually have about 16 lanes of PCIe. Usually all 16 of them go to a graphics card. But with more modern systems, they've added more lanes. Some have 20 now, some have 24. The Switch has, I believe, I want to say 5... No. I think it has 8 lanes or 7 lanes of PCIe on it, the Switch 2.
Wow.
I want to say 4 of them go to the GPU, 1 of them goes to the SD Express slot, and then 2 of them go to, actually 3 of them go to various other I.O. I think 2 of them to the bottom USB-C port, and then 1 to the top or something. But
what I find weird about it is that the Switch 2 only is exclusive to microSD from what I've heard.
It is only exclusive to
believe so.
microSD Express. You can put a microSD in, but you can only dump the photos off of it.
Yeah.
You have to use an Express card, which, sure, it has faster speeds, like 5 times faster. But I'd like to see if they can actually like utilize that. My guess is they won't. My guess is they won't be able to
Probably not.
utilize those fast speeds. If they do, cool. I'd love to see it work. But it's one of those things where, like, I'll believe it when I see it, and currently I don't see any evidence for it, so I can't really, believe them. And again, I feel like microSD could have easily worked just fine. The Steam Deck uses a microSD, and it works just fine. Hell, it uses eMMC on the base model originally. It doesn't use it anymore, and that ran just fine. Now they use PCIe for the boot drive, and you can of course upgrade that if you want. And you can put a microSD in and upgrade that if you want, and that's plenty fast. Like that's 100 megabytes a second, and for most games, that is fine. The Switch is not going to use direct storage. It doesn't have the power for that. It's not going to use RTX IO. It doesn't have the power for that. It has enough power to maybe read games at like 300 megabytes a second, and that's about it. It's not a fast machine. Now, I guess maybe they have some secret sauce with the decompression engine that's on board, which Sony has been doing with the PS5, Microsoft has been doing with their coprocessor. Nintendo added one of those two to the Switch too. Will it work? I don't know. I would love to find out. But again, this is all just specs on paper, and I feel like it's just a way to artificially gatekeep people from playing the Switch 2 and artificially, charging people more money for it. That's what I feel is happening in typical anti-consumer fashion. And in addition to that, they only gave you 256 gigabytes on the boot drive itself of the Switch 2. Need I remind you that the Steam Deck has the same storage amount, but you can replace it. It is user replaceable, and user replaceability, you can replace it with a 1 terabyte one for $60, which for the same price, you can pay $60 for a 256 gigabyte microSD Express card, which is a quarter of the storage. So again, please do tell me why that's justified. Why is it justified? Why should I pay the same price to buy a quarter of the storage for a shitty console that's locked down?
Right. Exactly.
I shouldn't.
There's
It's
no
not
point.
justifiable.
It's not worth the money. I'd rather just ask my mom for a Steam Deck, and I know she'll
Exactly.
say no.
Exactly.
I know she'll say no. It costs more than what my textbooks will.
Oh my god. Just pirate the
I just-
textbooks. They don't deserve the money.
I do
I
want
Fuck
to go
Pearson.
off topic for a little second.
I
do want to
I
go off
switched
topic
one of
for
my
a little
classes
second.
around because of it. I was like, not $200 for that.
Yes, Don?
So you heard of that sensationalist pedophile? Well, you say
Yeah,
pedophile. Some ordinary gamers saying like how he's never going to buy a Switch 2, buys it day one.
Of course he does.
It's some ordinary
What?
gamers. He's a bread tuber. He does whatever the fuck he wants. He has connections with pedophiles. He cries about somebody making Indian poop jokes on Twitter and leaves, and then comes back a month later. The dude's a hypocrite. The dude's a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't know what you guys talk about.
He's the Indian dude
Exactly,
that
Alexander.
made that Mutahar meme. That laugh. That's Mutahar.
Okay. Well, yeah. Again, don't know who you're talking about. I'm so glad to be
He's an
blissfully
idiot.
ignorant.
He's
But anyway,
he's
I
just
was-
a hypocritical Indian Canadian, of the many millions of them that are in Canada.
Whatever. I just feel annoyed by the micro SD stuff because Nintendo's
No,
always
I
been a
agree.
little bit behind on
Yeah, me
SD
too.
card stuff. Like even with the DSi and the Wii stuff, you have to keep it like sort of small. Like it doesn't like SDXCs. It only really does the HCs.
No,
can use
it
XD,
does.
you
You
have to
just have to
format
format to FAT32, and Windows doesn't normally support that. You have to use Rufus or something. But go on.
But yeah, like it's sort of like they put like those sort of imaginary limits, like if you like
Yeah.
using like normal SDs and stuff. And then I was surprised to see the Switch had a micro SD card because I was used to regular SD cards. I thought the Switch might use that too. but it's a portable, and I guess they wanted to go smaller. So it's fine. I bought a micro SD. It was like 128 gig or whatever. It works well enough.
Yeah, I
I
bought
put
one
it
of
in.
those
I found out
too.
you have to update it, even though the micro SD slot comes with the Switch initially. I'm annoyed that I have to update it to use it to begin with, because like, you know, if you're gonna put it in physically, then why do you have to wait until I actually put one in, and then you're gonna tell me, oh well, I need to update. Too bad. Like, that's stupid.
Because they didn't
Yeah.
include the exFAT drivers on the Switch itself, so whenever you put in
Oh.
exFAT, so exFAT is the file system. So if you know what NTFS is, exFAT is similar to that. FAT32 is what the smaller micro SD cards used and SD cards used. But you can, so FAT32 is limited to 32 gigabyte disks. That being said, you can just make an extended FAT32, which is what 3DS modders, DS modders, I do, and they even recommend it for Switch modding. And in fact, the Homebrew will do it for you. It'll automatically format the SD card to FAT32, even if it's a 0.5 terabyte card like mine. FAT32 works up to 2 terabytes. exFAT works well beyond 2 terabytes, but works at 2 terabytes as well, which is SDXC's limitation. It can go up to 2 terabytes. I don't get the purpose of why like they require exFAT when FAT32 technically does work, and exFAT drivers on the Switch are not really good and have actually corrupted saves and bricked consoles. And this has been proven, I believe, with one of the shitty Pokemon games launching. They actually corrupted somebody's Switch a couple dozen times. There are a couple dozen cases about it. I forget which game. But I just remember hearing about, like, if you play a certain Pokemon game, it would corrupt your save, or it would just corrupt the console entirely. Because
I think that was maybe Pokemon X, I believe.
If no. This is a Switch game. This is a Switch game.
Oh, then it was Pokemon Sword and Shield.
That would be it. That would be it.
And what were people trying to do with it?
So if you saved, it would just corrupt the save, and it would corrupt your system.
Oh, right. I think I remember something like that.
That is stupid.
I was always very careful when I saved my game.
Man, what am I thinking of? I'm confused by, like, what the fuck is this topic woke me's? What does it even mean?
So,
I don't know.
Mii's are now genderless on the Switch too, because, you know, everything you love will be ruined. Because, you know, we can't have biology anymore. We can't be having, you know, a console that is for children. We can't be reinforcing the fact that there's biology. No. The Wii is smarter than half the U.S. population, guys.
It could have gone with like a masculine and feminine kind of thing.
I feel it's implied
keep everybody happy.
From the selections. Like, you have this, like, explicit 2 selections, so I feel implicitly it's going a boy or girl. And really, even if you don't feel, I guess if you're not like boxed in by those like 2, you can still change it to whatever the fuck you want. Like, I mean, you can change it to a fucking burger for all I care. You can be a burger.
Yeah, you can literally be a fucking burger.
Awesome. And I'll be honest, I feel like nobody really remembers what gender their burger was when they made a burger in like a Wii or a DS Mii Maker. Like, you just made the burger and it was a burger. That was all that matters.
Yeah.
Right.
So as far as I'm concerned, hey, that's cool. Because, I mean, like, it's hard to really define how you would design yourself as a Mii if you feel like you're a boy or girl or non-binary. Well, actually, no, that's more of like a... non-binary, transgender, whatever. It's whatever you want it to be. That's the great thing about Miis. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, it's like character creation in a video game. Who fucking cares? It's just the problem is when you, like... At the end of the day, biology is absolute. You can't change it. But also, this is something a kid is looking at. This isn't like Baldur's Gate 3 or something. This is something that kids are doing. The kids are playing. And this is not Lulu La La Land. This is, you know, this is the Earth. This is, you know, like immutable facts about nature that have not changed in millions of years or really ever. So putting this in front of children, I feel like, is a huge no-no. Like, this should not be, you know, a thing.
I feel that's like
stupid about it.
Change your mind on. Obviously, I feel I can understand. Yeah, kids are like there are certain things that they can certainly see. We have our like guidance ratings and whatever, but like unless kids are like actively searching it up for some reason, I don't feel they would normally do that. I feel they look at the two options to be like boy or girl, and that's it. Because
Yeah.
kids are simple minded. They're not
Mhm.
really gonna think about like complex things. I feel like non-binary stuff is more something that you, if you were to look into at all, if you chose to, like if that's how you wanted to do it, if you wanted to do the research on that, you would do that if you were a teenager. Like protect trans
Yeah.
kids is more often protect trans teenagers, protect trans adolescents. Like it's easy to say kids because it's very blunt, to the point, direct. Like
Yeah.
even if like you could, it's obviously more accurate to say like teens, preteens. But like
Mhm.
with kids, it's just like, oh, we have
But
to
it's
think
Still
still
about this.
sus
It's
as
children.
very
fuck.
important.
It's still
Oh,
Yeah,
sus
and
as
they're
shut
still
up.
fuck because
children.
they're
Notice that.
grooming children,
All right, look,
which
that's
shouldn't
that
be
way.
that is
okay at
Okay,
all.
something
okay.
we
That's
can
like
argue
Let-
pedophilia,
over and
dude.
debate as much
Let's
as we
not
want.
argue
But I'm
over
here to talk
this.
about video games and Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm here to talk about. I'm here to shit on Nintendo. That's what I came here for.
All right,
I don't,
all right.
look, I'm sure there are real people we can talk about. We can do that later. We're here to talk about games, and games suck. I fucking hate games.
I like games, but I like older games that run on my computer better.
So,
I fucking hate new
speaking
games.
of, so guys, should I teach you guys how to use Dolphin for free? Because clearly Nintendo thinks that charging $60 a year for playing GameCube games is a good thing.
You
So,
have to
Yeah.
teach people to use Dolphin.
on
This is
your
hard.
computer, you
It's
go
not
to
that
you
hard.
type in Dolphin Emulator, and then you go
Yeah.
to dolphinemu.org and you download Dolphin, and then you go to
should update Dolphin,
vim.net, or you go to Reddit and go to the Piracy Mega Thread, and you find a good ROM site, and you download ROMs from one of the goated tier ROM sites on the Piracy Mega Thread. Then you download the ROMs and you play them with people and you have fun for free instead of paying $60 a year for garbage that runs like shit on mobile hardware that is under spec'd. You can play this stuff on your Steam Deck and it runs better.
I'm pretty sure you
I
could
mean,
just
think
like
about think
type
about
in
it.
just
This
Dolphin
game.
in Google, press space once, and emulator is gonna be like top 10 searches.
Yep, exactly. Isn't Vim gone? Technically, but there's also good sources anyway. Like, regardless, you cut off one head of the piracy hydra, 3 more are going to grow. Nintendo
Exactly.
is never going to learn from that because they are fucking
Yeah, you
stupid in
can't
the
get rid of
brain.
them.
I wish there was like an easier way to play Amazing Mirror online with GBA emulators. For some reason, they just haven't made that yet. I mean, if
Yeah.
they have, I haven't
What's
searched for it.
away?
Because there's like the Hamachi stuff, which is it works, it works, but it's old, and I feel like they would have came up with a new version by now instead of like Hamachi and
Probably.
Parsec or whatever. Because like with
Perhaps.
dedicated communities, they'll like put in the work for stuff. Like Battle Network does that. So like you download Tango and shit, you get whatever ROMs you need, and then you just have everything unlocked from the start. But I feel like with a game
Mhm.
with Amazing Mirror, it's meant for like online multiplayer like that, where you can just play online with anybody. Like if you
Mhm.
just have like a friend group and you just set up like an emulator designed for that kind of thing. But it just doesn't exist yet for some stupid reason.
All right, so should I talk about a conspiracy theory I have?
What is that?
Wait,
Whoa.
What kind of
wait.
conspiracy theory you got?
I just
Jacek, do you
perked
want
up
to talk about
Don.
one more thing?
Oh, right.
Oh.
Get your tinfoil
Yeah,
hats
what's up?
ready. Write that down. Write that down.
Wait,
want-
Don, what were
Let's
you
talk
going to
about
say?
Well, first I wanted to say 2 things. Okay, from what I could tell, Nintendo actually did do a survey about like what type of people are like playing the games, like if they're male, female, right? And like only 3% of them only identified as like non-binary. So like the whole welcoming thing was only dedicated to like 3% of players.
Again,
But
again,
moving
it's only
on.
the modern audience that matters, and the modern audience is basically no one. And then when you cater to said modern audience, please play our woke shooter game marathon. Nobody shows up. Please play Concord. No
No.
one shows up. So again,
Wait,
you
Concord is
appeal
not-
to the modern
Concord was
audience. You're appealing
catered.
to no one.
What the hell is Concord?
Concord was not at all. It was catered to shooter players, like all those other dog shit 3D cell shaded shooters, like fucking Valorant. All right, it was catering to Valorant players. That was it was dumb as shit.
Now I do have one other thing to say. Jacek, now you don't have to talk about this, but unless you want to, do you want to talk about the tariff situation?
We'll talk about that after this, all right? Because this kind of leads
All right.
into that. This kind of leads into
Ah.
it. So, I have a theory for y'all. The Switch 2 was supposed to release in 2022. The chipset was taped
Sure.
back in 2021. It is of the Turing architecture, which was released in 2020, and is used in RTX 20 series graphics cards. But it was delayed due to the bad yen, which we knew about because of the pandemic, the plandemic. And it was delayed due to bad yen because, sure, we had Bidenomics going on here, which inflated our currency by 50%, but in Japan, it inflated it by about 150%. So their economy did much worse, and as a result, they didn't want to release a console when the yen was super weak, thus basically negating any profits they made outside of Japan. That is why they delayed the Switch 2. That is my theory, at least. And the global economy was still recovering as of then.
That sounds reasonable.
Now it's recovered a little bit. It's not great,
Not very much.
but it's recovering-ish, unless you're Canadian or European, but you can blame your local governments for that. Tears of the Kingdom, I believe, was supposed to be a launch title for the hardware back in 2022. But it was delayed many times, as you all know. Because, again, the chipset was made back in 2021, and they, it was going to be a perfect new game for it, just like how Breath of the Wild was, the launch title for the Switch 1. I feel like they weren't even going to make it a transitionary title. I think they were just going to make it a straight-up launch title for the Switch 2, no questions asked. But because they had to delay the console, they ended up delaying Tears of the Kingdom and had to cut content from it, making it look as barren as it is. That's my theory. That game probably had a lot more soul printed into it, but they had to remove it so that it could run on a Switch and not a Switch 2. That's my theory. So Tears of the Kingdom likely suffered negatively because they played the waiting game too long and are now charging more for their games to make up for it, which is why now games are $80 because they were basically sitting on these games for a year now, or 2 years, or 3 years, and they're now making up the bullshit excuse that, hey, we're going to charge $80 for this now because we've been sitting on it for so long. Again, that's my conspiracy theory about Nintendo. I feel like they delayed it, and then they decided to just sit on stuff, and then just slowly push it out and overcharge it.
Well, I mean,
I think so.
Mario Kart World was meant to be, if I recall correctly, a 2020 title or 2021 title, and they just moved it to the Switch 2. So what really says about all the other games in development.
Well, also Mario Kart World doesn't really look 9th gen. Sure, some of it looks neat, but it's a lot of just mechanics that are added to the game, and they even removed mechanics that were in 8 Deluxe.
It looks very pastel and really bad.
It looks very pastel. It doesn't look super realistic. It looks like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on steroids. It doesn't look like a generational leap. It doesn't look like comparing a PS4 game to a PS5 game. It looks like comparing a Switch game to a Switch game that has more RAM or something. It doesn't look generationally impressive by any means. It doesn't. And of course you could say, but JASIC, it's an early gen game. And yeah, maybe you're right, but also this console was delayed. Oh, Don.
I mean, I think most PS5 games are pretty much PS4 compatible to some extent. Not all the new ones. When it first came out, it was definitely just PS4 shovelware fodder, or just remakes of PS4 games for the most part. If it couldn't just outright run on the PS4 itself. But now I feel like PS5 is making a name for itself. I don't feel like Switch 2 would be the exact same thing because everyone has a Switch. So they were making the Switch OLED, the Switch Lite. So now you have all these other Switch derivatives, which again do the same stuff the Switch does, pretty much same Switch hardware, same Switch software. And you're going to expect all those audiences to go to the Switch 2 at some point because these games are going to be on the Switch 2 and not on the Switch. I mean, I feel like that would end up in a loss because I feel like Mario Kart World, with the stuff it has now, it could definitely still run on a Switch.
I agree.
If Mario Kart 8 Deluxe can
probably not
Switch,
well.
This one can as
no,
well.
It would run
Mario
well.
Kart 8 Deluxe has a lot more content for a single race, but I feel the marathon concept could still work well in World on a regular Switch.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Again, as I said before, a lot of the transition areas between the courses are just straight lines or just, regular boring shit. It doesn't look that impressive. And the amount of culling they probably could use or improve upon on Worlds is very easily doable. Like, anyone that knows how to render a 3D game knows how to do culling objects and stuff. They could easily optimize it to run on a Switch. They just chose not to because they're greedy bastards and they want you to play on a new console. And they want to charge $80 for it.
I mean, personally, I just want Kirby Air Riders. That's the only game I'm looking forward to so far. I just hope it's not like I know there's no way it's gonna be 80. I mean, it's a Kirby game, so if they put it at 80, literally no one's gonna buy it. It would be the first Kirby game to make $80 total. But like it's maybe like 60 would be like a reach, but I feel the checklist makes up for it because at that
They're
point,
gonna charge 70 for it, Xander. You and I both know it.
Look, I just want to play Kirby games, man.
You and I both know they're gonna charge $70 for it and claim, oh, variable pricing. It's not $80 because it's not a full game. So instead, it's 70, which isn't any better.
I've always been a sucker for HAL Labs and Kirby games. Okay, I bought Kirby Battle Royale like day one. I saved up the $40 to buy it day one, beat the game. Then I played online. It was so fun. I had a lot of fun. It was region locked. I didn't know that, but it was still very fun. I got all the costumes. I finally 100% it like a few months ago. Like, no, it was a year ago. That game is fun, but the completionist aspect is what made it feel like it was worth $40. I'd say the online mode was not as good as it should have been. You could only pick from 3 random parts at a time. Every now and then you'd be like stuck in team battles for a full day. That was weird. I kind of understood why they did it to keep it variety, but 24 hours of team battles is just not a good way for that game, even for Kirby Battle Royale, because it made every game a team game. It already had team games. It had Flag Ball. Actually, that was the only one. That was the big one, Flag Ball. But yeah, and I think Air Ride has a lot more sort of, I guess, nostalgia and legacy going for it. And because it has those 3 modes that are just heavy on completionist things, you want to sort of hit those marks, unlock everything. That's the fun part of Air Ride, other than, the racing and the stars and stuff. That's the reason I'm going to buy it. But I feel like if they add more stuff like, I feel like the cosmetics is what I hope for more in Kirby. They've always been good with referencing stuff. I mean, they did it in Battle Royale a bit, like you'd reference the enemies and the hats or old bosses. Usually those are like the higher payments. I feel like if you could like add those cosmetics to the stars, or if you get certain ability costumes, like if you have like references to Forgotten Land and stuff like that, then it'll be a pretty good game. But it's just a teaser. But those are just things I'm hoping for.
Right now, it was looking like a remaster, I think.
I think it's just like, well, it said Air Riders, the trailer mentioned Air Ride, but then like I see it as a sequel. I see it as a spiritual successor sequel, not a remaster. And frankly, I'm gonna hope that's his last game. Knowing him, he's probably gonna make another Smash title, and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? But it is possible that this will be his last game, and frankly, it needs to be. The dude needs to take a break and retire. He worked too hard.
Sakurai's been taking breaks for a good while. I think Ultimate is. I mean, it is Ultimate. Like, it's not penultimate. It is Ultimate. That is definitely the last Smash game. I do not think he will be making another Smash game, but I think I think since he made Sora, that company, he's just doing his own thing. Like he doesn't have to make another game for as long as he lives. He doesn't have to direct one. He doesn't have to produce one. He doesn't even have to play one. But I feel like he's just doing it. He's just making his own path now. Like he's made all the Smash games. So as far as everyone knows, he's just God.
Well, he's kind of he's the rich guy that made $1 million, or he made like $10 million in his first year of working, and now he just does it for fun. Like that's the kind of guy he is now. He's like, I'm uber rich from this. I'm just going to teach people how to do it, which he did. And I'm just going to have fun doing it, which he does.
Yeah. And now he's coming back to Kirby, which it's cool for the people that like Glaze, whatever his past work was. I'll be honest, I don't remember all of the past work of Sakurai's and Kirby, because I think when I got to Return to Dreamland, I think, was it Shinya Kumazaki was the one directing that stuff. But Return to Dreamland's great. I wasn't as interested in the remaster. I know they added 2 new abilities, but like, I mean, the abilities look nice, but I feel like I just prefer like just a whole new Kirby game entirely.
I agree. I want a new
that's
Kirby
fair.
game, but I won't be able to play it.
And for Air Riders, I feel there is a lot going for it, even from like that small teaser just in Fantasy Mills, because that's like the first stuff. All the things in there are like the first things you unlock, like the Warp Star, the Wing Star, the Wagon Star, the Wheelie Rider. Those are like the entry level unlocks of Kirby Air Ride, which I know that isn't much, but I do have high hopes for it. I feel like there's gonna be a lot more.
Right.
Oh, and
That's
that
fair.
Donkey Kong game that was coming out. That one's interesting. It's got like a Banjo Kazooie thing. He's got a rock buddy now. He's got a new look. He can break shit.
He's got an
And pick
ugly
up
new
rock.
look, dude. I fucking hate his noggin, man. He looks so bad.
I think it's fun. It's cartoony.
He looks
It's
so
silly.
ugly, and I know they're just trying to reference the movie, but he still looks awful.
I know he's a scrunched up gremlin. I don't think it's referencing the movie as much. I feel like the DK in the movie had a lot more in common with the DK model that they've been using since like 06, 07. That model, I feel it has more in common with like Country Returns DK and stuff. Donkey Konga DK compared to what they're doing with Bonanza. But I feel like Bonanza's still going to be a good game. I do hope that it's not going to be as much of a collectathon as games like Banjo and DK64 or Odyssey. I
Yeah.
feel from what I saw, it feels like there's open paths, but it feels like it's pointing you in the direction you have to go. Maybe it's not as open world as I think it is. Like there's a lot open around it, but you still have to like go,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm not too sure how to feel about it other than that. But cool Rock Buddy. I like the Rock Buddies. The Rock Buddies look cool.
All right.
What was the next thing I was gonna mention? Let me pull it up on my
Okay.
phone real quick. I already mentioned my conspiracy theory, which I think was a pretty good one.
Were we going to talk
mentioned the
about like the
tariffs,
tariffs or something?
Oh, the tariffs, but Don isn't here.
There's games not selling well even for Nintendo.
Oh, yep. Oh,
Oh,
my.
empty threats to brick consoles. So, let's talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
So, I love the people who like bite into this fear mongering and think it's real. That they're gonna brick your console if you hack it. My brother in Christ, if they do that, they're gonna have a giant fucking lawsuit in the EU for doing that.
Exactly. Like,
And it's kind of like, so whether you like it or not, a lot of EU consumer protection laws, and I say whether you like it or not, because if you don't like them, you're probably a heartless cad that got shot by Luigi Mangione. But if you do like this stuff, then you're probably 99.9999999% of the world population. You probably do like this stuff. But consumer protection laws exist for a reason, and it's why Apple added the USB-C port onto all their phones, because the European Union passed a standard which, albeit some people I could understand disliking, I feel like it's a valid thing that they did, because it makes everything easier to use because it's just one port. All right, thank you, Meg. Take care. Have a good night. But it's just one port. It's the USB-C port. It just works. Like it'll be so much easier to use as a result of that. So it makes everything use the same power port. It makes everything standardized, and that's something I welcome greatly. Also, Don, I think you're frozen.
Oh, I am?
Yeah, you're frozen.
Camera's frozen, but you can hear you.
Here's your...
Let me turn it off and on again. What about now?
Now
it freezes on a frame.
Yeah, it freezes on a frame. That's funny.
Should I disconnect and reconnect?
Yeah, try that.
Yeah, I hope it works. I feel like I miss micro USB. I still use it on some things. Some things still
micro USB was cool. It was just basically just a shrunken down USB port, which is why I hate it. Don, you look.
Well, it's just gonna stay that way, buddy. I don't think it's gonna change.
Yeah, you can turn off your cam, dude. You can turn off your cam. But no,
I love the frame.
No, honestly, just keep it on. Keep it on because the frame's funny. But yeah, USB-C I like because it's a good standard. It's a very purpose port. You can put PCIe lanes through it, which is basically all you need. It's a very good port, which is why I'm fine with the EU basically ruling that and causing the entire world to basically conform to it. So that I'm okay with, because it's a consumer protection law. Now, when it comes to bricking stuff, EU is very anti-brick, and if you hack your shit, they can't remotely brick it as a result. In America, you can still get your stuff bricked, but in Europe, if that happens to you, you can get, like, your company can get in deep shit for it. Don's camera works now. But yeah, you can get in deep shit for, like, remotely bricking people's stuff. And I want that law to be more... I want that law to be stronger, because I want it to affect US as well, and thus not have stuff be bricked. Now, will Nintendo brick consoles? I highly doubt it, because if they do, it's going to piss off a lot of children. It's going to piss off a lot of families in general. I feel like it's just an empty promise. I don't believe the fear-mongering of, oh, if you hack our shit, we'll ban you.
So the cat's already out of the bag.
Yeah.
The cat's already out of the bag, so, like, they might as well go through it if they really want to.
Well, here's the thing, Don. The PS3, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, all had the empty threat to brick. All of them. Did they ever brick the consoles? No. They never did.
As far as I know.
Now, that being said, there are fuses that will brick the PS3, but that's RTC related, and that's when Y2K32 happens, when the 32-bit register runs out. But that's called a hardware flaw, and basically when Y2K32 happens, a bunch of electronics are going to go down, and we're going to have to rewrite all of our systems to be 64-bit. But that's a song for 7 years from now.
Well, darn.
Yeah. So basically, if you have money in stocks, you should, like, short all the companies, like, in 2032, and then when Y2K32 happens, you just pull all your money out.
Good to know.
Bricking consoles has too low a margin of error to actually risk it because we know data collection is faulty at best. Yeah.
So, did you guys talk about the Trump tariffs already or not?
We did not, because you were not here.
Shall we start on the slowness?
So, yeah, they upped the prices for accessories, which, again, is justified because of tariffs. I get it. But what is not justifiable is there's an image out there of the cost of a Switch 2 worldwide. How come we're the second lowest? And yet they want to blame tariffs. It's not tariffs. They just want to charge more. It's $350 in Japan. It is $450 in America. Mm-hmm. It is, I want to say, $500 in Canada because of Trudeau bucks being inflated and because of the Liberal Party there absolutely ruining their economy. And then in Brazil, it's like $800. In the European Union, it's like $500 again.
500.
We pay the second lowest in America, and we're still pissed off at the price. So if we're pissed off at the price at $450, you should be pissed off that it's $550, $800, depending on where you are in the world. And then you compare it to Japan, where it's $350 because they region locked it to Japan only. That is not only greed, that is just lying on Doug Bowser's part, saying, "Oh, it's the Trump tariffs. It's the tariffs, guys, that are causing the prices to be high." No, it's not. And Sony is even threatening of raising the prices of their PlayStations, threatening, "Oh, the Trump tariffs are the problem." No, they are not. You want to raise the prices across the world. If you want to counter Trump's tariffs, you raise the prices in America, not in Canada, Brazil, Europe, China, Japan. No. You doing that is corporate greed. You're just lying and making a bullshit excuse out of your scenario. If you want to actually make people believe you, use an excuse that isn't total bullshit. And just say, hey, profit margins are low, and people will still call you out for that because they're not low. You guys are selling them at a profit. No, it's not justifiable.
Gosh, I always feel reason locking is so dumb.
You always feel what?
Also, if I were to interject here, you said that region locking was dumb, which I agree.
Yeah.
It is.
And also, what makes the accessory price increase so stupid is that it's already expensive in the first place. Like, you're complaining about...
you blame Nintendo's licensing.
That's $90 being $95.
Blame Nintendo's licensing. They love upcharging everything.
My $90 outdated controller is going to be $5 more.
The Switch 2 costs
accessories.
$590 for Daniel in Poland and $640 with Mario Kart. Again, Daniel, you're only proving my point here, buddy. You are only proving my point. It is less affordable in Europe than it is in America, and we are stingy with our money, or at least I'd like to think we are, until we're legally retarded and we decide to spend $20 a month on Disney Plus and another $20 on Netflix and another $20 on Crunchyroll. And no, Americans are pretty fucking stupid. But when they see big number and that big number goes up 5 years later, we get mad. And going from $300 to $450 is not okay for a console. I don't care what console it is. This is the PS3 all over again, where they charged what, like $700 at launch, $600 at launch. They charged some exorbitant amount for the PS3 launch, and it bit them in the ass, and it almost caused the 360 to win the generation until it ended up losing to the PS3 later in life because the PS3 kept cutting their price and the 360 had red ring issues.
Yeah, the accessories, I don't. There's no real reason to buy accessories. You got like what the camera. That's about the only one I remember. Like you don't really need that. Like the welcome tour, you have to pay for the welcome tour. That's dumb.
Reggie Fils-Aimé mentioned that, and he actually heavily criticized it because the reason the Wii did so well is Wii Sports was packaged in, and Wii Sports was a very accessible game that anybody could play. I've been to retirement homes because I have grandmothers that die every 5 years, and morbid joke, but it's true. And I've gone to these retirement homes, and every single retirement home has a Wii in it, and that Wii probably has Wii Sports, and in fact, at one time I did see Wii Sports was in it because they were playing it. It's because this is just something that your Gram can, play bowling with her friends. It's low impact, it's safe for these older people, and it's easy for them to pick up. They point at the TV and it fucking works. It is such a friendly user interface for these senior citizens, and that is why the Wii did so well, because it came with a free game that was accessible for everyone. And it was a very good tech demo. It was a very good tech demo of the Wii's motion controls. The golf was a very perfect example of that. And the boxing game was another perfect example of that, especially with the nunchuck. That is how you do a tech demo. You include it with the console to prove it's worth playing. And Nintendo dropped the ball on it and charged $10 for a tech demo that literally has no practicality other than saying, here's a tech demo, LOL, pay us $10. It's stupid. I hate it. It's aggravating to me.
I mean, even back then, Reggie said he had to advocate for that heavy.
Oh yeah,
very against that.
And that is the only reason that we did so well in North America was because he was like, "Hey, you should do this," and we're gonna do it anyway. And it caused the Wii to sell in droves. I remember having to go down to Rockville, Maryland, or Gaithersburg, I forget where, but it was like an hour away, to pick up a Wii because they were sold out everywhere. And this was back in 2006 or 7. I forget what year it was, because again, this is forever ago. I was young as fuck. I don't remember basically anything. I just remember having to go an hour away to pick up a Wii because they were sold out everywhere. And my mom was lucky enough to get one at a Best Buy.
All that work, yeah, just for grandma to have her last words be, "I could have went pro at tennis." Thanks so much, Reggie.
No, seriously though, that's what was great about the Wii. It was super accessible to everyone, and the tech demo helped enforce that. Again, that is why at retirement homes you see a Wii, because again, low impact.
I feel Wii was just the best at even the PlayStation 3 sort of try to piggyback off that with their little motion controller, and Xbox
they did it too late.
Had Kinect. Wait, those were just all weird. I feel like Kinect was a waste of a Sonic Riders game because I fucking love Sonic Riders, but Sonic Free Riders is so ass because you have to play it with Kinect, and they simplified the hell out of it because you have to play it on Kinect.
That sucks.
Because I own Zero Gravity on Wii. That game, it's slower than the original Riders, which it's annoying, but hey, it's still a fun game. I love that game. I love the Gravity Dive. I love the Meteor Shift, whatever. Sonic Riders is still a better game. I feel more people should play Sonic Riders, the original one, the GameCube, original Xbox, PS2, that one. It's
the GameCube 2.
It's arcade, it's perfect. All right, whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. Fandom nonsense in this fucking podcast, bro. Yeah, I just feel the Switch, like, even I feel like the Nintendo Switch Sports would have been like, even if it's like a shitty remake of Wii Sports or whatever, I feel it's the closest thing to a tech demo the Switch has, and it came so late in its
1-2
lifespan.
Switch.
The original lifespan. Oh, right, that game.
But guess what? That also costs $50.
Yeah, I mean, like, and even then, why would you play 1-2
It was
Switch
50.
if Wii Sports is right there? Like, if you have a Wii Sports game and that's your first game on like a console, that's the game I'm playing.
Yeah.
And so like I would play Nintendo's, like, even like they did it with Wii Sports Club where you had to like have like a free or paid membership. They made it free at the end of like the Wii U's life, so like you could play it free whenever, because obviously that shit is boring. That shit is dumb. Like, why do you have to pay money? That's like they made a microtransaction Wii Sports. Like, it's just kind of fucking stupid. Of course, they made it free eventually. They had to. Nintendo, they always do that. They did that with fucking Pokemon Bank too, just storing Pokemon. Now you could just do it for free because we realize, hey, people aren't going to be paying for this shit anymore. It's like 2016 or whatever, so they stopped doing it.
And then they did again with Home. And people are so fucking stupid and addicted to Pokemon that they'll pay, what is it, like $30 a year to store 1 megabyte of Pokemon data?
If I'm playing bowling online with folks, I should be playing bowling for free. That's what matters. Like, if I get to play bowling for free, I get to play basketball, volleyball, swordplay. They got like some of the cool resort ones. I wish they brought back wakeboarding. That's the thing. I fucking love wakeboarding in Wii Sports Resort. I feel like Nintendo Switch Sports is so limited. It's annoying. It has the potential to be a great tech demo. They're doing the fucking drag drive though, the mouse thing for Nintendo for Switch 2.
That should have been a free tech demo. That should have been a free pack-in.
I don't think it needs the mouse. I'll play Wheelchair Rocket League, I think, but I mean, it looks cool, but I'd play it.
Have you ever played ARMS?
I feel ARMS would have been the Switch tech demo.
Yeah, you can play ARMS with just buttons. You don't have to use motion controls. So I guarantee you they're going to do the same thing with Dragon Drive.
Yeah. But the thing is, I feel like ARMS was underrated. I feel like if there was any sort of like, bundle they would have done it with ARMS.
Yeah.
I feel like they have. I feel like
I don't think they did. They did one for Splatoon. They did one for Mario Kart. They did one for Smash, obviously. They did one for Animal Crossing. And I want to say that's it. No, they did one for Metroid, I believe, with the OLED. But don't quote me on that. But I don't think they ever did one for ARMS. I don't think they did one for ARMS. I remember when ARMS came out, so like that's very vivid in my head. They didn't do basically any special bundle for the Switch the first year. I think the first one they did a bundle for was Ultimate, because that was in 2018 or in 2019?
Yeah. 18. Ultimate was 18.
So yeah, that was the first bundle they did.
Wow.
At least if I remember correctly.
I'm even confused. Like, I heard like the pros in Splatoon use gyro controls. I could never use gyro controls.
I use them.
To save my life.
It works like a mouse. It works like a mouse. It's just like if you were to play CS:GO with a mouse.
I'm a pro controller. I'm used to just turning up the sensitivity a bit high and moving around like that. I know
the game that did gyro controls right was Odyssey.
Ah.
You don't like
I hated the Galaxy game. Odyssey did the gyro controls right, or like the motion controls. I hated the Galaxy games just because of the motion controls alone.
I loved Galaxy because of motion controls on them. The fuck do you mean? The gyro ball was so fun. I love the levels with the gyro ball.
No, it's not.
They were so goofy, and the Ray game was okay. The gyro controls weren't amazing on the Ray game, I'll admit that, but the ball was so fun.
I like tilting balls. I like it.
The tilting the ball was such a fun level. Well, there's two of them, but they were such fun levels, man. How dare you shit talk my ball levels?
For one, I just hope that obviously, like, other than dropping the price, we get actual games. Because I mean, there's not many first party games they were promoting. They're promoting RPG stuff, which I'm pretty sure is cool. They got Final Fantasy VII again, I guess. They got Bravely Default.
But that's on everything.
Like that game. I've never met a person that likes Bravely Default, but that's on me because I've never been around RPG folks as much. Like, I've never played Octopath. I've never played Bravely Default. I played like really, I think the RPG series I got into was really just Bowser's Inside Story, and that's it. I played Superstar Saga like a week ago. Wait, not a
Did
week
you
ago,
finish
like
it?
last year. I did finish it.
What
It
was
took
your
me
thoughts on
like
it?
uh, I thought it was fun. I spent a lot of time grinding the beans though, because I wanted to be silly and grind the beans and get all the cool
I
items and shit.
love beans.
I didn't use the mustache though. I just had great force.
Oh, so you knew about Mush Badge. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but I had fun. Like it was. I didn't know any glitches, but I thought, I thought all the action commands were interesting for a game. Like on the Game Boy Advance, they did a lot for
I
just like the Game
dude,
Boy Advance stuff.
dude, that game on the Game Boy Advance pushed the fucking limits of it. Like it was running out of colors on certain points of the like certain cutscenes, and you could tell. Bowser
Yeah.
alone, I think, took up like 4 or 5 different colors. I know there's like a color limitation on the GBA. I want to say it's like a binary number, like 8 or 16, and Bowser alone was like a significant number of that. So they had to like
forgot.
hella limit color palettes for quite a bit of the game in certain cutscenes, just so that the game actually could run.
I was so used to Bowser's Inside Story being able to do 2 jumps and like that Bowser sprite. Because when I see the GBA Bowser sprite, I feel so like confused. I was interested in like Rookie and stuff, but it felt so different. I was like, oh damn, this console was limited as hell. How did Pokemon even run on this?
Exactly.
Like it was just
That's actually an
it was
interesting
bare bones.
question.
It was so like I'm so confused because this is the same console they put Kyogre on, by the way. They put Rayquaza on this. Like how? This came out the same year as fucking Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. How is this game allowed to exist in the same era as this? And like even like even then, like clearly I feel like I have a lot more fun with Bowser's Inside Story. Even if like I was pissed off at that game when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I got better at it. I beat the game. I beat both of those games around the same time in like December because I was on a cruise and I had time on my hands. So I beat both of the games. I beat Bowser first, and then I beat Superstar Saga. I like Bowser's Inside Story more, although I feel
Gotcha.
like it's a bit more limited in the action commands.
Yeah,
Like
but
with
Superstar Saga didn't have the crappy minigames, and I mean, yeah, it didn't have the crappy minigames. It had some fun ones, like the barrel shoving one. I enjoyed.
oh, I hate that one. I hate that one so much.
Jasek,
Yes.
Jasek. It
What?
took me 2 years to beat the carrot minigame in Bowser's Inside Story.
You've told me this a
I
dozen
feel that.
times, Don. I know. I
Look,
hate
I
the
feel
leg
that.
minigame was fun in BIS though. The one I hate is the nose minigame. That game can die in a fire.
I don't even mind. I don't mind the like the sort of like those minigames. I didn't mind. I like the minigame in Rum Command that took me a couple tries. The sneezing one,
Yeah, the
that one
nose
also took me
minigame
like a few
sucked.
tries.
I hated that one.
The carrot minigame, that was the one that turned me off on the game for a good while. And then I just came back and beat it like in 2 tries. At least like, and then when I went back and replayed the whole game again, I beat it first try because I actually knew how to do it, even though I hadn't played the game in a good while. But like I still felt the mechanics behind it were like bad. Even like it's just I know it's going out and you gotta get the cool little power ups in the carrot bunches. Like, no, fuck off. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It was it was just hard finding it. It's just like, oh, if you don't find it immediately, then it's gonna be really hard to get rid of all these chunks. So too bad. Go
Yep.
fuck yourself. Should have locked in, should have guessed right.
I mean, it's more timing than anything. That one didn't give me much problems,
I
but
feel
like
I
usually I'd
had
be
more
like 2
fun.
or 3 off.
Because I had more fun with I've had more fun with like the navigating in Bowser's Inside Story, but I love the special inputs in Superstar Saga. I feel like the advanced inputs in Superstar Saga make that like a whole lot more fun. It's so much more rewarding.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like it was the specials in Bowser's Inside Story are interesting too. Like I don't mind them. Like I thought like a lot of them are just like silly ones. Like fucking snack basket or like magic bounce or the magic window.
That one was a good
Snack
one.
basket's pretty funny. You just have to
Yeah.
be good at mashing, and you have to literally get an excellent on that attack to progress the game. Which,
Yeah,
if your
I've
name is
never
Ian and you don't know how to mash, you end up never beating the game.
I mean, Snack Basket helped me out a little bit with what is it? Um, Dark Fawful, that last final boss a little bit. You can just
Oh
shockwave
yeah.
and you get the rest of the legs, and then you can like magic window or what is it? Jump helmet the rest of the way through. That's pretty fun.
Now,
It was a simple game.
want to know another story about me being the worst Bowser Inside story player?
Sure, Don. Tell us how much you suck ass at the
So,
game.
the first Bowser boss, right? You're supposed to inhale and then throw it back at the statue and then punch the statue, right? I
Yeah.
beat the first boss without ever inhaling.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
That is tough. That
Jesus,
is rough.
mate.
Wow. Really dedicated, really thick-headed.
I mean, it'll work
I'm one of those
eventually.
players.
Now, would you believe me that I farmed coins from Broggy during that fight?
Oh.
And the
Would
thing
you
is
believe me if
that,
I just intentionally farmed coins from Broggy for like 2 hours one time when I played the game?
I
like
kind of
only
admire the
leveled up my
stubbornness.
players to power. I only leveled up my players to power, so like I was able to I was a glass cannon. So like I died easily. So like the first boss, but the thing is, I actually did beat the boss first try. It was just an endurance.
The final boss was infuriating as fuck, especially when it had to swallow Fawful. You just had to mash faster.
Yeah.
Literally, that's all.
That's
That's literally all I'm gonna tell you. You just have to mash like fucking fast, and trust me, it's close to my limit on how fast you have to mash. Like I think you have to do like 7 or 8 inputs a second. I can do 10, but that's like only for short bursts. So like it hits my upper limit doing that boss fight.
I kind of forgot.
But once you vacuum him in, you just have to destroy his legs, and basically you just wail on that bitch.
I feel like Brothership is probably a little fun. I've never played it, but I thought it was interesting at least.
It is.
I played it for. I played it up to shell. I played up. Hey! I played up to shell rank for like the first 5 hours. It's slow and boring.
That is.
It took him 5 hours
slow.
to get to the first boss.
The thing is, even for those old games, they were always pretty fast. But I feel like the remakes are a bit slow. I don't know how slow Dream Team is. I feel like Dream Team might be a little bit slow.
Dream Team's first 5 hours suck. Hell, I'd even argue the first 10 hours suck. Once you get past like Mush Rice Park or even Dozing Sands is really slow. Once you get past Mount Pajamaja, it gets better. But like I feel like the first half of that game just is awful.
Well, at least I'm glad we're talking about good games. It feels fun to talk about games that aren't on a Switch.
So
Yeah.
like in Dream Team, right? I hated the giant boss battles because it needed motion controls, and because I was holding it like this and not like on a flat thing. I always died to the Z because I chipped on.
Oh, dude, the Zkeeper boss fight sucks, man. That guy can just last forever.
How do I win? How do I win? Oh, you just had to put it on a flat surface.
Yeah.
Since I didn't play the 3DS games, I just had Bowser's Inside Story, and then everything else was DS games. I think, like, I had, like, 0 3DS games when I first got a 2DS. Like, my first one was Mario Kart 7, obviously. I mean, it's Mario Kart 7. But I had a lot of fun with it. But a lot of my time was just, because I was just getting DS games for my birthday, because that was just all we had. We gotta play, like, what is it, Mario Kart DS sometime. We gotta play Wild World. Because all those games have cool online shit. They got Animal Crossing New Leaf back online recently.
I'll be real with you.
Pretty
the only
cool.
thing I'm going to play if it's DS Now Play is Clubhouse games.
It is, like, because it's everyone can get it, which is fair.
It's also just, like, it has a shit ton of board games on it. And they're automated, unlike Tabletop Sim, where you have to, like, do everything manually. No, it's just go, 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 go when it comes to that. Like, you can play Hearts, you can play Rummy, you can play Hanafuda.
I just spam blackjack, to be honest. I love blackjack.
Dude, if we ever meet up IRL, we're going to a casino together. I hope you know that.
I'm broke. I'm gonna end up with negative money if we leave. I'm gonna owe the casino. I'm gonna get back there doing dishes.
just save money.
Hey, Jessica, miscellaneous question, part 3.
Job is a slur.
Job is a slur.
Jump scare.
Job application jump scare. Hey, Xander, job application. Oh, by the way, good news. Good news for those that are curious. I received a job offer literally 20 minutes before I started the stream. So that's pretty lit. and I
Wow.
could potentially get another job offer within by tomorrow. I don't know though.
This guy might even make money. That's crazy.
I
In
might
this
even
economy?
actually make money, even if it is only for like a month or two.
Money.
Wow. If you make
I
money, can you
love
buy me a
money.
Wii U and send it to my house?
I will send you a Wii U with a C4 in it.
Wow. A used Wii U, good condition. Don't mind the battery.
Don't mind the plastic bomb inside.
I gotta save up for a Wii U. I could go for an old Wii U. I'm gonna play Splatoon and realize how dog shit that game is, but it's gonna be amazing.
Oh, dude, it's an amazing game.
Because I heard on Nintendo, you can play with anybody, but then everyone on there is like fucking S rank. If you're a C, they're just gonna be an S rank because they got rid of the rank restrictions. So everyone just plays with everyone
Bruh.
because everyone's on there.
That's so
That's
stupid.
It's
Jinx.
great. It's gonna be a great experience. I hope the same for like. I can't wait for fucking Dark Moon, man. Once Dark Moon gets online, that's gonna be
Oh,
my
we'll
game.
play
I'm
Dark
gonna play
Moon.
that all
We'll
the
play
time.
Dark Moon.
I was grinding Scapers before then. I think I
Oh,
did
Dark Moon,
all
I
the
love
25
Dark Moon.
fours for like the regular modes. I did them on normal. I do not think I would do good on expert solo, but like normal I can do any day.
Actually, now that I think
Are you
about
talking
it,
about Luigi
you
mentioned
can
Dark Moon?
do Scare on Citra. You just have to have a good enough computer, which I know both of you don't have. So
Hey, it's all right, Jason. We know how much money you have. You know you get money,
Yeah.
you get hoes, whatever. Sure.
yeah, sure,
We
I
get if
get
you have Jewish
hoes in your
descent.
dreams.
Sure.
In your dreams, I get hoes.
Look, money cannot buy happiness, but it can buy hoes.
Not
Life
really.
lesson. Are you sure?
Are you sure about that? Yes.
Did you look in your flea market? Go to your
What?
local flea market, buy hose. Easy.
Oh. Shitty joke, dude. Shitty joke.
Hey, bro, you got summer sales, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spend my whole summer playing DS games. Maybe some games on Steam.
That's the
My
stuff.
computer can run Steam games.
I know,
It
Jack, I
can run
love DS
lockdown
games.
at 0 FPS, but I'll just lag my way through.
Xander,
I
please get a new laptop. Please.
It's not happening. I'll be honest. It's just not happening. All right. I'm
Shut,
gonna
Jack.
replace this
My
battery.
hardware
My
upgrades will
battery is
never
actually
happen.
a pillow. Like it's lifted up the touchpad. The touchpad wasn't working for a good while.
Dude!
Like if I would let me show you. Like it still
It's
works.
time to get
It
a new
works.
computer, bro.
It's not happening. I'm replacing the battery. That's all you're gonna get.
Oh my
Like,
god.
let me just. If you're to look at it.
Tried my old laptop.
Oh my
from
god,
the
Xander, what the fuck? What the actual shit, dude?
Nah, it's cool, bro. It still runs.
Are you
Man,
sure
I
the
can
battery's
play
not
fucking lockdown
inflated?
tonight. It's cool.
Are you sure the battery's not inflated? Because that's usually a good indicator.
No, it is definitely the battery.
Fucking replace the battery, dude. You have a bomb in your house.
Nah, it's good.
No.
It'll live. I'll give it a few months.
Xander be like, oh yes, there's that beeping sound again. I'm gonna ignore it. Oh, there's that bomb in my computer. I'm gonna ignore it. It's like, brother, please.
Nah, it's pussy. It blew up for the fashion. It's not gonna blow.
Speaking of beep.
Oh my god, Don. No.
The pillow, it's just a balloon. It's not gonna pop. I just don't have to press on it. As long as I don't press on it, it's good.
No.
You're just edging it. You're edging it. You're
Me edging my
doesn't
lithium-ion battery.
It doesn't bother me when my fan makes a loud buzzing noise for 5 seconds and then goes back to being normal.
You must goon Xander.
I am Goon.
This is my
The syndicate.
it's the little PS4 that could.
I am Goon. It just says
God.
Groot. It has Groot, and
I
it just
am
says, I am Goon.
I am Goon.
I am Steve. Have you seen the meme where it has Steve as Cerno?
Oh no, I haven't.
I am Funky.
I love how they made a
Right?
fucking meme-along block party version, which is the exact same thing, but they add countdowns to the memes and then add the fucking stupid Minecraft font text to all the meme moments. It's so funny.
Oh my god.
We're
The
completely
first
off
movie to make
topic.
$0.
We went completely off topic.
We did. That we
Yeah,
did.
why not? Who
This
cares
is a
about Nintendo Switch?
SavageCast,
And
after all.
the Switch can run the Minecraft movie. I think it's a good console. Who needs to upgrade? I actually need to play my Switch more. Now that I think about it, I haven't played my Switch in a good while.
Hack it, hack it, hack it, hack
I'm
it,
not
hack
doing it,
it,
Jason. I'm
hack it,
sorry.
hack it,
It's not
hack it,
happening.
hack it, hack it, hack it.
I'm not
Hack it.
doing. If I hack it, it's getting hacked to pieces. I'll be honest. I'm gonna keep it stock and play it till it dies on me.
Don, please stop.
You just gotta try and play it online. Who's gonna ban me? Not Nintendo. You just gotta go online in their faces and just go, nah, you ain't gonna do it.
Nah, I'd win.
Nah, I'd play online without getting banned.
Nah,
Nah,
I
I'd
do.
pirate.
Yeah, I mean, like, isn't there like tutorials on how to sort of legalize it if you're like playing games and want to bypass
You have
it?
to remove
I mean,
your serial number, and if you do that, you can't play online anyways. Because it tracks it by serial number.
so do you still have yours or not?
I still have mine on the hardware.
Oh, so as far as it's concerned, it's just stock. So you could just play games that you have there online, technically. Like, is it like the 3DS where it sort of checks for the ticket in a way, I guess?
If it checks for a ticket and it doesn't exist, it sends something to the Nintendo and tells it to ban it.
Uh-huh. So clearly
Which
all you
I
need is the
guarantee it has already done.
I mean, hey, if they've already done it and you're not banned the next time you get online, then you're good.
Wishful
Clearly,
thinking.
they've moved on to the Switch too. You gotta think like that. You gotta admit, it's the statute of limitations.
Wishful thinking, my friend.
See, that's just the way I do it when I fuck around. Like, because before it's just like send your data to Nintendo, you could just click no, and you're safe forever. That's what it was like in the 3DS days. So if you're not getting Nintendo news, if you opt out of Nintendo news because you hate the Nintendo government, then you're safe.
Jesus Christ, Xander.
The thing is, that's just what I'm saying. You just gotta take risks. Because I'll be honest, because there are just a lot of games on the Switch where if you're not playing online, then are you even playing the game? Like you can play Splatoon for the story mode, sure, but like once you beat it, then what? You just have the hero. You have the hero blaster. You have the hero shot, the hero roller. What are you gonna do with it?
Well, I dumped the save file onto an emulator, so when Switch Online gets emulated on Ryujinx, I will have that.
Ah, wishful thinking, my friend. Wishful thinking indeed.
I mean, the Wii U already has online.
Well, yeah, but that's the Wii U. I think the thing is, they haven't made the bypass server for the Switch yet, which is, I hope it will happen eventually. That's the only reason I would ever hack
now
my
that
Switch.
the Switch 2's out, give it a year or two.
Yeah, and then you should just do that. You should just do that for your stock Switch, and so you won't give a fuck if Nintendo cares about your console.
Well, that's what I plan to do anyways. Once there's a bypass, I'll just use the bypass on my Switch, and I'll just keep it online.
Yeah, but right now I feel for me, I know I'm a sucker, and I give people money. I give Nintendo my hard-earned parents' money. But because there are lots of games that I like to own. Some I own legally. It's easier for me to just own it illegally, quotation marks, quote unquote, illegally for older consoles that I have that I know are just out of touch and Nintendo doesn't care about. So I'll just do that for my DS any days. I love Twilight Menu. I love the Homebrew channel. I love USB Loader. Great innovations for great older consoles. It gives those consoles more staying power. And really they got great libraries anyways. So why stop?
Yep.
Hey guys, look what I have and you don't. Money.
Wow, all 20s.
It's like he went to the bank today. Hey Don, can I borrow $50?
Hold on.
12
That's not
doubloons.
50. That's not 50. That's
No,
not 50,
Don,
that's
you
not
didn't
50.
get the reference. You didn't get the reference.
No.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, this is all for me.
20,
So no.
50, $8,000,003, $82 million.
Hey Don, can I borrow $50?
$50.
$50? Hell,
$50.
this madman's trying to take my last $30. I'll see you with my lawyer about that $5.
God, okay. I guess really the only thing I just so I can play online with y'all. That's
Also, I
that's really
literally
it.
have
Because all I got
this.
is my old Wii. I love playing Mario Kart.
It's
Mario
literally a
Kart's great
Jubot that
on the
eats
Wii.
money.
CTGP stuff is awesome. But recently they shut down WiiFi for like a while. They say it's not going to be back up to like June 9th. So people
Shut
like
down
moved,
what?
like, they shut down WiiFi for a little bit. Like there's been like errors.
Really?
It's probably going to be back around June 9th. But till then, folks have been using like WiiLink and shit, other DNS stuff. It works just as well. It's basically like a WiiFi mini. Like it still supports mostly the
But yeah,
same games on Wii and DS.
you and
It works
I
well.
need to play Clubhouse games sometime. And like again, just DM me. If I'm not working, I can go, hey, we can play Clubhouse games together.
I'm free tonight. You should stream tonight. I'm free tonight. It works on WiiLink. It's a good game.
You'll just have to tell me the DNS.
Yeah, sure thing. I'll tell you. I'll link it in the game server. The game chat, the channel.
Yeah. I'll think about it, because it is 6 o'clock. I do want to eat. But I could either, play some Clubhouse games tonight, or I could play tabletop. I'm in the mood for something chill.
I do have one question, Jasek.
Yes, Don.
Do you by chance want to play the Nintendo slander? It's already in your
We
DMs.
can play that right now. We can close off with that, shall we?
Alrighty.
All right, let me hold on. Pod React logos.
I'm going to turn off my camera really quick, and I'm going to turn it back on.
Hold on 1 second. Let me hide this. And hide the logos as well. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to do any of that. We're going to just... I'm going to put this down. Put this
Basic
over
microphone
here.
jump here.
Boo. Lobotomy jump scare. Born. Born. Me edging my brain aneurysm.
I love edging. I love edging.
What the fuck,
I love
Don?
edging.
Me
what
edging
the fuck,
my
Don?
done.
Hold on. All right,
Me
it's
edging
on
my
now.
Goon streak.
Oh, hold on.
Ooh.
No, it's not, because apparently I can't show my screen. There we go.
I'm definitely.
Let me get.
This slander was made by this retard Don Eternal. The Don Soy
That idiot.
personified Don Tendo. You are fake! Wait, whoa. How about... No. Hold on. You are fake. Fuck Joe Biden in Hylian. That's
Amazing.
great. I love that. That's amazing. And then Vivian, leave the
Exactly.
multi-billion-dollar company alone. And then Joman with the Buster Sword. That's great. That's great. I love that. Viviac! Nintendo on their way to nuke everyone's wallets. Yeah.
All my money gone.
Nintendo fanboys when you criticize their most anti-consumer soy product. Real. Very real. Very real. When you hate the Nintendo fandom so much, you're just glad everything is getting fucked. Yeah. Fanboys and scalpers fighting over who can get their greasy hands on the outdated console first. Yeah, I'm the scalper.
Greasy
Using
scalper
variable
hand.
pricing as an excuse to scam people, $80 per game. Yep. Nintendo calculating how much they could make by reselling old games in 4K. Yup. Dares to make a better Pokemon game though. Yup. Factual. Where demos are paid for? Yeah. Fathers, instead of spending $500 on your son's birthday, try this for free. Try to see that their games are still acceptable at 20 FPS. Dude, real.
He's lagging.
I know, that makes it funnier.
It's lagging, bro.
Selling their skin for some low-quality camera, real. Westernized to produce more fag slot, my response. Try not to copy Nintendo's predatory actions, impossible. Oh my god.
This really is the slop gem.
Pride in your ego.
You and your alarmo in your camera.
Yeah. Ninja players enjoy Conjure returns. That's $95 per replacement, by the way. Yup. When you accidentally press the C button mid-game and get redirected to Nintendo Online Payment. Dumbest argument to blame Trump and not Nintendo's greed. Yup. Yup.
Real.
Wait, was hiring an EA executive with the name Doug Bowser a bad omen all this time? Who would have guessed? Exactly. You bought with your money. Oh my god. Exactly. Yep. Basically true. Don't waste your mind on this bullshit. Factual. Is that actual scene?
Yes, it is.
That's crazy. Steam wins by doing absolutely nothing. Yep. No! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! No, no, no. No. There we go. There we go. New Jack, boys! New Jack! New Jack!
You discovered a new Jacek Jack.
I think I'll join Whitebeard and become a pirate based. Emulators are becoming your last bastion of hope, real.
I guess final words. I love emulators.
Switch to PC, yes. Switch to PC.
We've
Now
got
this
you
one is a
surrounded.
reference
Come
to
out with your
Bowser's.
money. Come out with your money up. I love emulators. I love
KB
emulators. I love
Cape.
emulators.
Although what is to be said has been spoken many times over the years, it does bear repeating, especially now. When Nintendo's legacy staff slowly leaving, it's become clear that Nintendo is no longer ran by players but by businessmen. Although it's sad to see that the company for games has gone corporate, just remember you don't have to support them. Yup. That includes you guys. Stop giving them money. It's okay to call a corporation greedy. You don't need to defend a billion-dollar company. Buy a PC, pirate games, or just vote with your wallet rather than waste it. And buy a PC from me! Oh, shit, you're right.
That's true. Instead of paying $450,
They could all
for
go
a
fuck
console you'll
themselves.
never
I
play.
agree.
Why pay $450 for a dumb console that you already have? You can just pay for it.
Yes! Oh my god! Who's Groden? Who's Grotus? Who the fuck's Grotus? Why is he all red? Is that just like an OC thing, Don?
Pilled.
He's Don Pilled,
Don
okay.
Pilled.
And he hung Viviac, and Joman's there with the popcorn, and you're drinking T-Lord. That's amazing. Oh shit! Oh my god, that's lovely. I love that. It's
Toy
amazing.
gem. True toy gem.
Credits. I didn't help. What do you mean?
Gave that fag slop idea.
Oh yeah.
Slop. Slop Jacek 20.
Dude, oh my god. Holy shit. That was amazing. God damn, dude. You did not have to
over
cook
here.
that hard. I love when in hindsight investing in
That's what I
PC comes out much better use of my money than any console. And I keep trying to tell that to people and they don't want to fucking listen. God, it aggravates me. There's this one dude who's like, "Yeah, I have 3 PS5s and I like had to fight scalpers again." I'm like, "Cope.
Why'd you buy 3 of them?
Why'd you buy?" Yeah, exactly. My thoughts exactly. To play Baldur's Gate with my friends, I'm like,
I mean, I guess
God!
for getting your friend's PS5, but why would you force them to play Baldur's Gate?
why would you force your friends to play on a PlayStation 5 when you could have
Also
literally
true.
just bought
Why
like
would you buy your
you could
friends
have bought
a
3
PS5?
computers for twice the price of those 3 PS5s, and
Why surprised? I
not
feel
pay
like a
for
computer would
online,
be the exact
not
price of
pay
a
for, not
PS5.
pay $80, or not pay $60 a game. Like, holy fucking shit, it aggravates me. These people who willingly walk into these walled gardens thinking that, oh, they're going to pay less than what they would on PC. No. PC is expensive because you're paying for the hardware that will outlast a console gen, and you're basically going to pay nothing for games.
I feel
Basically
like
nothing.
you could play the exact same games on like $600, $700 like PC or laptop that you could on
Exactly.
a PS5. Like
Exactly.
it just buy them a laptop.
Well,
Them out.
Xander, have I ever showed you the Excel sheet I made where it compares a Switch 2 to a Steam Deck?
No, I don't think you have.
Okay, well, basically, a Steam Deck is $400. A Switch 2 is $450. The Switch 2 comes with a dock. The Steam Deck does not, but that is the only negative factor, and the docks can cost like $30. So, $430 for a Steam Deck with a dock. Meanwhile, it's $450 for a Switch 2 with a dock. Now, sure, the Switch 2 may be able to run games at 1080p, but the deck can play basically any Nintendo game from the Switch on back. It can play any PS3 game on back. It can play Xbox games if you are willing to deal with that shit. And you can play PC games on it. And those PC games are on Steam, and those games are typically $20, not $60, $70, $80. So in every aspect, the Steam Deck is better than a Switch, and it's better in many ways versus a Switch 2.
I just find it funny that I hardly see people playing actual Steam games on the Steam Deck. I usually see it more for like emulation because it is good.
No, because it is an emulation powerhouse. That is what it is. And that's what I use it for, quite frankly.
Why pay $450 for a new console when you can pay me $20 to play a Switch game online? You're spending less money for a good cause.
I don't see the purpose of 9th gen hardware, man. Just get a PC. And if you really want 9th gen hardware, get a deck. The deck is a great handheld PC. Or you could get their Ally used off of eBay or the Legion Go. But, like, frankly, just get a deck, man. They're cheap. They're $400 for damn capable
I've never
hardware.
been one for all the extra GPU, NVIDIA, AMD, whatever the hell. I feel like any game that makes you have to run at 5,000 petaflops a second is a bad game. You need to learn to optimize.
I would disagree. There are good games out there that are well optimized, but your case does hold water, Xander. A lot of shitty Unreal and Unity tiles are super flashy graphics, but then they run like shit as a result.
Even the same thing. I think like one of the big ones, like Cyberpunk, was glazed to all hell, and then it came out, and it was horrible. It was glitchy as hell.
No, I agree.
And they had to patch the hell out of it, and I don't even know if it's a good game, even if it's patched. Like
I've heard it had a No Man's Sky scenario where it got better over time, but like again, you should release a game when it's done, not when it's not to just make money and fix it later. That's shitty business practices.
And I feel like I understand, I guess, the friend slot mentality of not really liking sort of multiplayer games that sort of you would get because your friends have it, or it's really only good with friends and you just leave it alone.
Yeah, but I think those games deserve a place because they do have a purpose and are actually fun. Now, a lot of them can be samey, but I also feel like they all fit the same niche. They're all competing against each other.
I think friend farming is more accurate because these games are meant to, increase your friend circle. So you're more meant to get more friends out of it. It's not it is a game that relies on friends. That's sort of like the slot part. It's like there's a lot of games that do rely on that sort of friend mentality. And not all of them appeal to me because I've been staying around my family being a shut-in, and most of my friends don't even live near me. And I've hardly been in many friend circles online. So I just, like, if I get into a game and I need friends to play it, and I can't just go online anonymously and just play with any fucker that I find, that's really the fun part, playing with strangers. Just doing dumb co-op shit with strangers is a lot more fun. Like, you can fuck around with your friends, obviously, but being, like, a menace to strangers is so funny.
Yeah.
I think like that was the same thing with like Human Fall Flat. I did notice they were making Human Fall Flat too. I don't think I play Human Fall Flat too. Like I liked Human Fall Flat 1, but I played it because I thought it was gonna be like Gang Beasts. It kind of was, but it also made me want Gang Beasts on Switch because I got it on Steam, I got it on Xbox, I got it on both. I think it's very fun game. For some reason, there's somehow a meta in Gang Beasts with costumes, which is kind of weird, but
That is weird.
it's so fun. Fun games. Games should be fun. If it's not fun, why bother?
I love that quote. That's one of my favorite quotes from Reggie Fils-Aimé.
About kicking ass, taking names, and making games. That's why
Yep.
he's the GOAT.
For real.
All right, well,
Reg
I think
goat.
I'm gonna head out, guys. If I do another stream, it'll be at 8 o'clock. But feel free to feel free to suggest to me what you guys want in the Twitch chat. But thank you, Xander, Don, and Meg for joining me. It was a pleasure. And yeah, you all stay savage. I'll see you guys soon.
Sure
Bye.
thing.